College Football Today is a special presentation of ABC Sports.
Images that surf through one's state of mind. In college football, the state that could gain the most, Florida. The mindset, a national championship. To ride the wave to the top, you must first wade through the swamp. Where today, the high-scoring Gators will attempt to silence the cry of War Eagle. Go Auburn, a team that hasn't known a loss in 2 years. Images of the legacy of Bowden, Spurrier, and hopes of a possible return to Heisman glory with quarterback Terry Dean. Images of a 17-game win streak. Images of two undefeated teams, number 1 and number 6. Today, we'll find out which team will transcend the image and rise to reality. ABC Sports welcomes you to CFA College Football. We're in Gainesville, Florida, where the unbeaten Florida Gators will take on the Auburn Tigers in a Southeastern Conference showdown. The weather is ideal for football. Temperature at 65 degrees. A slight breeze out of the northeast. Folks, it's a very good day to hit somebody. We'll be right back. And here come the Gators. They have been magnificent in this setting. Since Steve Spurrier became coach, only the Seminoles of Florida State have broken through here in the swamp. Now they are matched against a team that has not been beaten in 2 years. A 17-game win streak, the longest in college football. It is Bobby Bowden's son, Terry Bowden, and the unbeaten Auburn Tigers. Now, the Eastern Division, since the SEC is broken into 2 divisions, shows Florida at the top and apparently headed back to the SEC championship game in Atlanta the first Saturday in December. Now, keep in mind that Auburn is not eligible for the SEC title. This is their last year of NCAA probation. Right now, Alabama's in the driver's seat. Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. I'm Brett Musburger. Like you, on Monday when I picked up the paper, I was somewhat shocked to read that Florida was a 16-point favorite over unbeaten Auburn. Then you come down here to Gainesville and you start to take a look at the Gators. And you see all the speed that Spurrier has out there and the quickness that they can move up and down the field. And you realize that this is a very tough assignment today here for Auburn. Making it even more difficult is the field, the swamp. My colleague, Dick Vermeil, went down to the floor of the swamp. And he'll tell us why the Gators have such a huge edge. Dick?
Hey, Brent, there's no question this is a tough place to play. Spurrier's teams have only lost 1 game in this stadium, but it has nothing to do with swamp and Gators and everything to do with talented athletes that are very well coached, a sophisticated passing game, and a defense that is now number 1 in the country. The other problem is, though, crowd noise. And in talking with the Auburn staff last night, Coach Bowden says they have eliminated all audibles and checks from their game plan. They will call everything in the huddle, come out, line up, and go. And when they go, they plan to run the football and eat up the clock.
Terry Bowden on the left, Steve Spurrier on the right. Florida's battling some injuries here, and Jack Arute will have that story for us in a moment. Florida in time to bring it on, the kickoff. Auburn wins the toss, they defer, so the Gators go on the attack, and this is Jackson, their spectacular wide receiver, and he winds his way out to the 37-yard line with that return. Oh boy, Jack Arute. The Gators have some nicked up players who won't be here today.
Well, Brent, there's 5 players that the Gators coaching staff had counted on to play critical roles throughout the '94 campaign. They're on the sidelines with assorted injuries. Particularly hard hit is the tailback position, where they had to fill the shoes of Eric Rett, who has departed Florida. It's down to a freshman, a true freshman, who will have to pick up the pace. The weather here will help him, though, because it's not humid.
I'll tell you what did not help him, Jack Arute, was the middle of that Auburn defense. They jumped all over number 21, Fred Taylor, who is out of Belle Glade, Florida. Terry Dean is 11-0 as the starter. Quite a story, and it'll unfold during the day. There's the young man that Jack Arute just alluded to, number 21, the offensive line for the Gators. And now it is 2nd down and 10. Busted play. Dean keeps it for a yard, and this will put the Gators in 3rd and long here. Defensively, Auburn looks this way with their front 7. Jason Miska. What a story he is, out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. All he does is hit somebody. There's the defensive backs. They'll be under fire down here all afternoon long from this high-tech passing offense of Coach Spurrier and quarterback Terry Dean. We expect now the first pass by the Gators on 3rd and 9, and here it comes. Great protection. I mean, all day. And it's dropped at the 45-yard line, but also being dropped on the play is the yellow penalty flag. Hold on.
If they give Terry Dean that kind of protection all day, it'll be a long day for that defense, Brent.
And it's against the Gators on the face mask penalty. When he first showed the sign, you might have thought it was a defensive player, but it was not to be. This one's going against Florida. There was an illegal blocking play early last week against Mississippi State.
Offensive face mask against the offense.
Take a look at that penalty on the right-hand corner of your screen. Number 78, Reggie Green, had him by the face mask, and you can't get your hands in the face mask.
We have quite a punting game going on. Here is Shane Edge. His numbers, folks, spectacular, as you saw. And back deep is Thomas Bailey out of Enterprise, Alabama. But I was going to say that Auburn was saved on an illegal block by Mississippi State early in that game last week. And now face mask penalty. Of course, the pass was dropped here. Didn't mean quite as much. Now, this is not one of his better punts. There's another penalty flag down. The ball is dead at the 31-yard line. But let's hold on here because we have another penalty. So a shaky start. Astor Sizemore, your SEC referee, heads up this crew. Your umpire is Ted Davis today.
Well, I'd refuse that penalty. Because Shane Edge, as you said, Brent, over a 46-yard average, would be ranked number 3 in the country nationally if he'd punted enough times. They move the ball so well, he doesn't get the punt. He's only punted 14 times.
So Patrick Nix, as the penalty is declined, will come out. And against Mississippi State, he threw for better than 311 yards in that Tiger victory a week ago with 3 scoring passes. Frank Sanders, folks, number 81, plays on the Auburn baseball team. Wonderful wide receiver, big play man. And Victor Riley, a freshman tackle, number 68. The Gators will attempt to attack him today and see if he can hold up. Stephen Davis and Joe Frazier are the Auburn running backs. This is Davis. And the Gators jump on him. Mark Campbell, number 67, and Ben Hanks.
Already you can see the defensive game plan unfolding. Instead of playing a 4 deep, they're bringing a safety up in the slot and not moving a linebacker out, Brent. And that allows them to have almost 8 guys defense in the run rather than 7.
Ellis Johnson will help defend the run here today. Dick, he's dandy. And
oh, you bet he is.
Defensive backfield. Anton Lott returned one for a touchdown. 2nd and 11. The fake, and Nix rolls to buy time and throws back. It is dropped. So we have a shaky start here by both sides. Nervousness, and that was Frank Sanders, number 81, who couldn't get a handle.
Well, Coach Tom Bowden said they really want to run the football and control the ball, eat up the clock, keep their offense on the field, their defense off, and they're going to do it with the running pack that they've been using and use high percentage play action passing. That was one of them. Good throw, bad ball pitch. Tough to convert the 3rd down situation against this defense. They have excellent pass rushers.
Nix, offensive line holds up. Diving catch for a first down at the 48 by Thomas Bailey. What a grab.
They had him short and deep, and what he did is he went up, he got under there. You'll see the isolation right to the right side of your screen. They're going to try to buzz underneath with Hanks, number 11. Now watch him come back underneath the zone, deep zone coverage, and he dives and makes a beautiful catch, what we call a square in pattern.
On 3rd and 11, they gain 17.
Good execution.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Davis slammed by Hanks coming over.
See, he's that extra guy on the outside, and he comes down outside as an outside linebacker, and he just gets there. See, you can't cut back when a guy comes down, coming from the right side of your screen. See, you'd like to cut back. He can't cut back. There's a wall right there. It's wearing a number 11.
So again, the Gator defense puts him in 2nd and long. They were bailed out on a key 3rd down pass last time. They need 12 yards this time.
They like to screen out of this shotgun formation, Brent, and do a nice job with it.
They flare the backs and go over the middle, though, to the tight end, and he's wide open for a 1st down. That's big number 82, Andy Fuller. He is a load.
And he is a load, but he was wide open. One of the reasons he's wide open, they don't normally throw to the tight end. They went out and worked on the wide receivers, tight end to the right side of your screen coming off Fuller 82. See the people buzz out of there and leave the zone wide open. They're going out and cover the people they normally throw to. Good call by Tom Bowden, breaking tendencies.
Now a 20-yard gain. So they've had a 17-yard gain and now a 20-yard gain on their first series of the game. They open with the shotgun. Inside handoff to Frazier, number 5, and they moved that pile for a couple more yards after he was stood up there. So Frazier kept on driving into the arms of Ellis Johnson.
You know, that offensive line of Auburn's is so big, Brent. Yeah, you almost have to stand up to see where the ball is. They're so big at, you know, at 6'6", 6'7". Oh my gosh. It's like a big truck coming after you. They're so tough to run on, though. They've only been giving up about a yard and a half per snap, only 47 yards a game. But they haven't been tested by a team that makes a commitment to run.
A 2nd and 8, inside handoff fake, and Nix keeps it, goes for 6. Diving reception, touchdown Bailey. Holy cow! Auburn's first drive results in 6. Hey folks, does this look like a 16-point underdog to you?
Great execution of bootleg action, using the bootleg action, meaning they're going to fake away from where they want to throw, bottom of your screen. Now that helps hold the safety, and you see Hanks was pulled up on that. The safety doesn't get there. Here comes number 3, Larry Kennedy. He doesn't get there because he was held by the bootleg action. Good call, good design, good execution.
Matt Hawkins. It's 7-0 like that for unbeaten Terry Bowden. And Nix was 3 of 4 for 69 yards and the scoring pass. Well, War Eagle looked extremely comfortable. Big smile on his face.
He must have took the points.
How about this, folks? First time the Gators have been behind this year.
I'll tell you, when you stimulate that guy we just saw on the screen, Coach Steve Spurrier, from an offensive standpoint, nobody does it any better.
Jackson again.
Stay there.
3 yards deep, and he'll take a knee, and it'll come out on the 20-yard line. What a magnificent reception by senior Thomas Bailey of Enterprise, Alabama.
Well, the action of the quarterback and the running backs really helped. That fake right there froze the cameraman for a second, and the safety that was supposed to get over there to help on the double coverage. He didn't get there. And the other thing is, Nix laid it right on the money. Now, last week was his first big game. Prior to that, they were disappointed in his performance. What a time to have a good game the week before you play this one.
Now the number 1 Auburn fan in Gainesville brings his team up behind center. That will be Terry Dean. And a bobble snap, fumble. Auburn may have pounced on it. They did. It was Gary Walker.
Here's the snap. You know, these things should be automatic. It looks like the center, it looks like David Swain was a little bit late. Now, David Swain is an A student. He should know the snap count. But it looked like everybody was moving but the ball. That's how we saw it here.
Isn't it unbelievable how the Auburn defense also puts so many points on the board, Coach?
I know it, but against these guys in there, they don't give up many points. At least they haven't. Today they're going to be tested.
Nix from the shotgun, the same look. Frazier's flaring. They set it over the middle. The tight end will walk inside the 10-yard line. Andy Fuller again.
See, Brent, they haven't been using the tight ends. The tight ends came into this ball game with 4 catches between them, so they're not really paying attention to him. See, he delay blocks, and then he checks out as the people drop out, and they just hit him right there. The linebackers are going to have to hold and stay on top of him.
Now it's 1st and goal for the Tigers. A 2-touchdown lead in the early going would be huge in the swamp. Here comes Davis on the sweep left. Frazier can't get his man. There's a penalty flag down. Frazier swarmed all over Lawrence Wright, the strong safety, coming up to make the play for the Gators, but there is a penalty flag. Looks like we had 2 penalties.
They love to run that toss, Brent.
Holding on the offense. Offsides on the defense. Discontinue.
The left offensive tackle, number 71. Here he's blocking down, and he's got his hands wrapped up the top side of your screen. And also 82, Andy Fuller, looks like he's got a hold. That's a double hold. Maybe they called 2 on it.
At any rate, it's a do-over, Coach.
It's a do-over.
First down. The ball is at the Gators' 8-yard line. With the crowd noise, all he can do is make a sight adjustment. He doesn't change the play at the line. It's Davis. Davis steps to the 3. Nice run by Stephen Davis out of Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Well, you're running this offense. They're very effective. You can see they've been down here many times, and they scored many times. The impressive thing is they score touchdowns, not field goals. When you have a running back like this guy, he's an up-the-field runner. He doesn't make drastic cuts, just slides left and right a little bit, and he has the power to get it in the end zone. Did a real nice job of that last week as well.
Harold Morrow, the fullback,
they like to throw to him.
Into the lineup, and he is now set in front of Davis.
They like to throw to him.
There they come, trying. Morrow's tied up, so they throw incomplete. They wanted him. Jesse McCovery was the second receiver going to him. Morrow tripped, slipping out of the backfield.
He didn't trip. They tackled him. It was holding all the way. They wanted to throw him the football, but see, he is substituted into the backfield many times, Harold Morrow, number 12, because he's a very good receiver, and it's sort of a key for the defense. But prior to that, you couldn't quite see it there. They actually grabbed him coming out of the backfield. They don't want to do anything foolish right now. Be satisfied with 3 points.
On 3rd and goal, Nick short drop, throws the fade, and
nice job.
Lott. Anthon Lott makes the key play, defending Frank Sanders.
Beautiful job of defending the fade. That is a tough pass to defend, and Sanders is a leaper. He has great ability to leap. He's the guy they go to. It's a one-on-one challenge, but he does a good job of looking back at the right time and getting up with the receiver. Well done. Now, the ball should have been thrown a little bit more to the outside and away from the defender. But, Brent, that's a tough one to defend. Now, maybe you could make the play, but it's still tough.
Don't think so. Matt Hawkins with Pat Sullivan, son of the one-time Heisman Trophy winner, holding. 19-yard field goal for Hawkins, and Auburn moves ahead for Coach Terry Bowden by 10 points. 8:42 remaining in the first quarter. It is Auburn leading Florida 10-0. The first time this year that the unbeaten and #1 ranked Gators have trailed in any of their games. And now again for the 3rd time, it'll be Hawkins kicking it off for Auburn. And they go to work on Jackson. He lets it go out of bounds.
See, they're kicking it over to the left side of the coverage, so they have a shorter field to defense. This time they get it too far out. 85 yards to zip. Woo!
Dick, what about the center exchange problems we have
I mean,
seen?
that is automatic. I mean, absolutely automatic, and it should never happen. It does once in a while. Heck, you see it in the NFL once in a while. Normally, it's the first part of the ball game. Kids a little bit too excited. They'll calm down because that's the brightest exchange, people. In college football, you're an A student at center and an A student at quarterback. Shouldn't happen.
They stick with David Swain on the penalty with the ball going out of bounds. The ball is spotted at the 35-yard line, and Dean to put it up on first down. Gets protection, throws high, and complete, though, to the running back Fred Taylor, with Anthony Harris making the stop for the Tigers.
Real good protection. He steps up nicely in the pocket, waits for the crossing pattern from the running back checking out to go over there and get me open. You know, he looks awfully poised. So I'd have to believe, Brent, that those exchange problems have been the fault of the center being a little too excited.
There's an 8-yard gain. So on 2nd and 2, Taylor runs the swing. And at the 45 by Chris Schelling out of Columbus, Georgia. The senior strong safety laid a whack on him right at the first down marker. Let's see now with a spotted first down.
Awfully nice blocking by Reggie Green, the big offensive tackle. Fortunately, the secondary got up there and made the great hit, but Reggie Green did an awfully good job.
Four wide receivers for the Gators. Their familiar spread them out pass attack. And it's Dean under pressure, steps away from it, going down. He did not get away from Etheridge. It looked for a moment like he might step around him, but he did not. As Alonzo Etheridge from Selma, Alabama hangs on, and it's a 10-yard loss.
He is a good pass rusher. He came in with 2 sacks coming into the ball game. See, the pattern was taken away downfield, Brent, initially, so he had to hold on to the football. To the left side of your screen, he made a nice move underneath Reggie Green, and Reggie can't give him that much room inside. He's got to keep him outside the pocket.
2nd and 20, and Auburn dominating here in the first quarter of this battle of the unbeatens. Jackson to the 42-yard line, and Chris Schelling again.
You know, Auburn defense looks awfully quick, Brent. Things look open, they look open, the ball gets there, and all of a sudden a white jersey flashes and nails him. Very good movement on this defensive squad.
It is interesting how Auburn prepared for this game. Terry Bowden said, no mistake about it, this is our Super Bowl. We cannot go to a bowl game. We're ranked number 6. For us to have any chance to win the Writers Associated Press poll, we have to come in here and beat the Florida Gators. They lead them right now by 10, and Auburn, folks, is playing like it's their Super Bowl. On 3rd and long, Dean over the middle, Doreen, and there is the control receiver. First down for the Gators.
See, what they did is they went to quarter defense there, and he worked down inside, Doring being the person I'm talking about, and got in between the 2 middle quarters, and he threw it right at him. Did a nice job. Good read downfield. He saw what they were doing. Good protection. There it is, right in between the 2 safeties. There's number 20, Brian Robinson, make the play.
The ball is at the Auburn 42. And the Gators are in Tiger territory for the first time on this overcast Saturday. Down the middle goes to Jackson. Open touchdown, Florida.
Well, they actually said they weren't going to blitz very much because they saw that they had such good success. But here he is, one-on-one coverage because they have to blitz them. He gives him a little stick move, gets up on number 4, Chris Schelling, and beats him like a drum. Boy, it is tough to cover Jack Jackson one-on-one. 22 touchdowns. That makes 23.
Judd Davis with Shane Edge, the punter, putting it down. And just like that, that fast break attack of the Florida Gators. 42 42 yards, and it's 10-7. 5:52 to go, first quarter. Home of the Monsters, and the Monsters put 7 on, but they still trail by 3 after Auburn's quick start. Back deep, Thomas Bailey and Frank Sanders to return for the Tigers. Bailey, who scored the touchdown, lets it go out of bounds, so the ball will come out on the 35. Dick, let's go back and take a look at Jackson's touchdown.
Well, they said they weren't going to blitz very much in this ball game. They decided to blitz. You can see people over here. They're going to bring them all. They're bringing them here. You get the one-on-one situation over here to your left. Jackson one-on-one on Schilling. He comes off. He gives him a little stick to the outside, beats him underneath. No safety help. Beautiful throw, all alone. He gets his 23rd touchdown. Boy, I'll tell you, it's tough to blitz Spurrier football teams.
Harold Morrow still in at fullback, and Stephen Davis is the tailback. Off a fake to Davis. Nix rolls and hits Morrow, and they get him on the right side, out of bounds on the far side. Jack Arute, when Jackson took off his helmet, why didn't he incur the wrath of the officials down there?
Well, Brent, a week ago, if we were doing a Big Ten team, this action probably would have drawn a penalty on the ensuing kickoff. But in the SEC, what we have been told is as long as it is not a choreographed move, as long as it is strictly emotion from the individual, they will allow it.
Got to go along with the SEC. What about you, Dick?
I go along with that rule.
2nd down and 3. Nix from the shotgun is rolling his pocket. A wobbler could have been picked off, but it was over Lott's head and out of bounds. John Saunders, how about Nebraska and Kansas State? The Huskers still got that hex going?
Well, Brian, as you know, they certainly have plenty of hexes going at quarterback. So why not give it to Lawrence Phillips? You expect him to see the ball a lot of times in this game. From 3 yards out, he takes it in for the touchdown. The Cornhuskers lead 7-0. And a reminder, later today, Penn State against Michigan at 3:30. Brent.
Yeah, John, that'll be a good one. Davis and Frazier as Frazier checks in. He's the fullback on 3rd and 3. The Tigers like to keep this going. Here comes the end around. Here comes Sanders. Sanders has got daylight. Sanders to the 49, but a penalty flag is thrown on the far side of the field. So wait just a moment.
They really like to run the reverses to keep you honest, and they got him in the right defense, man-to-man defense. And they ran 2 in the first quarter last week.
So it's a 1st down for Auburn. They ran it twice last year back in Auburn.
Right, successfully.
Now there is Sullivan over there with Coach Bowden.
Does he have some enthusiasm, or does he have some enthusiasm?
I thought I was talking to Danny.
Yeah.
Just the young version, but so much enthusiasm. I could sit and listen to him go on for hours, and I believe he could talk for hours.
Oh, yeah, I tell you. I think we did him a favor by getting up and leaving, because he did laid it on us. I really enjoyed that.
What a job he's done over there at Auburn.
And the other thing, what he says makes sense.
That's right. You grew up in that household, you know a little football. That's for sure. Nix rolling to the right again and find it time high. And the tight end has got it. Andy Fuller grabs it. It could have been picked off.
See, they're using misdirection to control the inside people and working that tight end back across here. That should have been picked off, as you said, Brent. Hanks dropped back off into it. Now, you'll see the misdirection in the backfield here and the tight end cross. Here he goes. Now, watch the misdirection. Fullback one way. They fake that toss like. Now, the tight end's crossing. He's in behind the linebackers because they acknowledge the fake. Now, there comes Hanks from the right side of your screen. He doesn't make the play.
Fred Beasley checks in. Fuller, 3 catches for 42 yards. And Auburn exploiting the tight end, something that the Gator defensive staff did not expect here this afternoon.
No, you wouldn't expect it. They'd only caught 4 passes in all the games they played this year between them.
So they kept a little something in the hip pocket. And here's Beasley, fresh legs, to the 32-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down. Johnny Church on the stop.
That's that downhill toss play. They toss the ball, and it gives the defense the impression you're going outside because they see the ball in the air. And as soon as he catches it, he starts downhill. I mean, right to the end zone. Good block that time by Joe Frazier. That's a good name, huh? Joe Frazier.
Isn't that a tough name?
Yeah, it's a tough name.
Smoking good.
Yeah, you got to play football or fight, one or the other.
2nd and 3. Morrow is the fullback in front of Beasley. Now, look at the tight end get himself a break down there.
Oh, Andy Fuller, he's excited. You know, his dad played football at Alabama A&M, so I'm sure he's proud of it.
Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
That's a first down.
Yep.
Nix was able to bring him across. I'm very impressed with how Patrick Nix, the junior from Rainbow City, is handling the environment.
I'm sure he's using that hard count, you know, really barking it. But, you know, it looked like maybe Sean Robeek moved a little bit to the offensive center.
First and 10. Side adjustment by Nix. Comes with Davis. Davis for a couple of yards.
Stephen Davis is a great, big, strong guy. Look at the concentration on his face. He knows he's getting the ball. Now he's just going to read the blocks, get upfield, and protect the football. Big, strong kid at 222 pounds.
He was one of the most heavily recruited running backs in the South several years ago. He was not academically eligible a couple of years ago down at Auburn. I remember Coach Pat Dye and his staff recruiting him. And injured Gator down there.
I've recruited
right
him too. He ran for 2,400 yards his senior year and 32 touchdowns. Not too hard to figure out he can play.
Larry Kennedy is down, and while he's down on the field, let me remind everybody that tonight we've got the ABC Family movie. That is Father and Scout. All those memories will come flooding back. Then Michael Chiklis Folk stars as the Commish tonight.
You know, Brent,
right here on ABC.
You know what the film people here do with injuries? They tape these both sideline and end zone and ISO them so they can give to the doctor, and the doctor can evaluate prior to a more thorough examination just what's wrong with the guy. Now, this is their best corner, and that hurts their defense because Kedra Malone, who's a backup corner, missed practice all week because his mother had a stroke and was not able to practice all week. So they might have to play a guy now that hasn't been able to practice all week, and that's tough.
Fred Weary, the freshman from Jacksonville, comes in. What a high-octane game this is. And
yes,
another injury for the Gators starting to add.
Go, Fred Weary!
So a freshman, number 24, comes in, and right away they line Thomas Bailey up on that side. This is 2nd and 9. Let's see if they go after him right away.
They're going out and giving him underneath coverage help on this coverage.
They tried to hold Bailey up. Nix is going to look for him. They're going to test him immediately. There's the throw, high and incomplete. Now that is just simply good coaching.
Yes, it's good thought, good thought. I think I would have moved the ball to a different receiver. Kevin Carter, number 57, middle of your screen, possible first-round draft choice there, working on Victor Riley. Fine pass rusher, 4.5 40 speed, honor student. He's going to be a pharmacist after he quits playing in the National Football League. May not have to be a pharmacist after all the money this guy's going to make. Fine young man. Had a chance to visit with him the other day, and he was really excited about this challenge.
Now they were trying to get a timeout called, and they do.
I think that was a real smart decision from an offensive standpoint to eliminate all audibles and all checks and just call it in the huddle, give them great definition of purpose, and come up and play football.
Dick, we have a moment. Let's check in on some other shows that are coming your way here on ABC.
Saturday on the Commish.
Toronto, all of these witnesses are being coerced.
When Tony's friend is the key witness in a murder trial, Tony puts his badge on the line to protect him.
You can't hide this guy forever, Tony. You swore an oath to uphold the law.
An all-new Commish, Saturday here on ABC.
Sunday, something wild and woolly's coming your way. On an all-new America's Funniest Home Videos. Followed by a wild and woolly on our own Sunday here on ABC.
Dick, Patrick Nix is an interesting story because last year in Auburn, remember the Tigers trailed, and he came in after an injury to the starting quarterback. He took over. He threw the touchdown pass to Sanders. He then led them to that come-from-behind victory. So this is a young man who has been able to handle the pressure of a big game in the SEC.
And they spoke about his poise last night, and he really showed it last week. He is showing it now. You know, he's a smart kid, Brent. He was #2 in his class in high school, so he's a smart guy.
Now they've got 3rd and 9, Coach, with a freshman corner that they're going to try to camouflage and offer help to. Here comes the shotgun. He's going to swing it, and it's incomplete. Ball is dropped by Beasley.
The one thing that's happening, and has happened so far, is Auburn has been able to take the crowd, the Swamp, the Gators, out of the ball game. It's quiet down there. They could call audibles right now if they wanted to.
Matt Hawkins trots onto the field. And unless this is a fake, and I say that because Bowden, growing up in the family of his father, is apt to try anything in a situation like this. They're in the attack zone. They're at the 34. It's a 44-yard attempt. Pat Sullivan is the holder. This is a 43-yard field goal attempt.
He's 2 for 2 this year from that distance.
No good. He's now 2 for 3. Let's check in right now with John Saunders.
Brent, Vanderbilt against Georgia, and Eric Zier, who's another Heisman candidate, trying to come back down 7-0. Spots Hassan Graham, perfect pass. He's now the all-time leader for career completions in the SEC. 7-7, Brent.
Eric Zier having a sensational season with the Bulldogs, and here it is 10-7, and the Gators have trailed all the way. Terry Dean. Incomplete diving attempt there by Riedel Anthony. Well, John Saunders alluded to the Heisman Trophy. Wide open year. I suppose Napoleon Kaufman of Washington might have a slight edge right now. Terry Dean, according to his coach, Steve Spurrier, has struggled the last couple of weeks. Steve McNair, of course, has been well publicized. Cordell Stewart starting to come along at Colorado. And Eric Zier. Look at those numbers. Very impressive for the young man up at Athens. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion.
They're either going to blitz or bluff blitz. He's audibling, but they're showing that same blitz. They backed out of it. They didn't blitz.
Jackson underneath.
Hello.
I tell you, Schelling is some hitter.
You told me to expect some good hitting, Brent. Boy, these kids tackle well. Schilling just comes up there and nails him. Yes, it's a quick hitch pattern. He saw it coming all the way. Top of your screen. Now watch to the right side of your screen. He sets, he's driving right now. He comes up and bam, look at that body position. Knees bent, head up, shoulders square. Nice tackle, good coaching.
SEC doesn't necessarily believe in out scheming you. You come down here and play, and you better strap it on real tight.
Blitz again.
They can out hit you. Incomplete. John Saunders, how about Nebraska?
Brent, the Cornhuskers, as we told you, had the lead, but Chad May is fast becoming another Heisman candidate. Hooking up with Mitch Runny here, wide open for the touchdown. They missed the point after May, though. 7 of 10, 101 yards. Brent.
Yes, but oh, those missed extra points.
Oh, man.
10-7 now. And Shane Edge back to punt with Thomas Bailey. Set to return for Auburn. And Florida's high-octane offense does not have it in high gear here in the early going.
They found some leaded gasoline, put it in the wrong tank. Lousy punt again.
Fair catch signal. Then he makes a diving attempt, puts it down. There's a penalty flag. An Auburn teammate goes after it. That could have been a disaster for Auburn right there.
Look at that cap. It's been on and off. He's getting fired up. Coach Spurrier. Shane Edge not punting at all like he did in pre-practice warm-up. He was nailing them.
We have a 5-yard buffer zone violation by the kicking team. Be a 5-yard penalty, first down.
You got to give him that space if he gave a legitimate fair catch. They ruled that he did. Here comes Bailey up in there. The hand goes up. He waves it clearly. You got to give him room to catch a football. So he's moving into him, too.
Absolutely. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think
dive over at the angle like he did. Nevertheless, Auburn saved it, didn't turn it over, so it's first down coming out now. Stephen Davis and Morrow still in at fullback. Davis comes around the left side, battles his way to the 40-yard line, and Anthon Lott. Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, let's update you on the condition of Larry Kennedy. He came out during that last defensive series for the Gators. He is out for the day with a sprained left knee. Tough break for that gentleman.
Boy, and I think, Brent, that affects the entire game plan, because there's things you can do with your best corner that really influence what you do, and when you lose him, boy, that changes a lot of things.
Dick, are you impressed with the Auburn Tigers on offense so far?
I am. I think they're doing a very deliberate job of tacking things and changing up what they've been doing.
What a great inside handoff that was, and they busted for a first down. Nice fake by Patrick Nix.
They're getting them upfield. There's good pass rushers over there on the Florida side. He takes the snap from the shotgun, then he snaps it right directly to him, Brent. Now, again, little changes up that Florida has not seen. Good game planning by the Bowdens.
This is some inside handoff, right?
Yes, it is. Wham, right to him, see?
It was the center making the inside handoff. First and 10. The ball across midfield on that direct snap was the old single wing. They set the screen, complete the lineman off a deflected pass. He should have let it fall incomplete. He cost them yardage by making the catch in that situation. Well, the young man had the instinct. He just wants to go after the ball, doesn't want to see it intercepted.
Plus, he's never caught one before.
Oh, come on, coach. Let me get my hands on the ball.
They're trying the screen pass. Mark Campbell, number 67, works up there. He batted it, and he gets the football. Here he is to the right center of your screen, and he dives in and gets the ball. Mark Campbell batted it down.
And Jason
Taylor picks it off.
The junior guard out of Mobile, Alabama. Well, they handled the ball, cost them 7 yards. It's now second down and 17. We're going to take a break as we come to the end of the first quarter. Auburn, the 16-point underdog, leads it by 3. The Bronco defense may be just what the doctor ordered for Joe Montana and the Chiefs. 9 Eastern time on ABC, Broncos and the Chiefs. Now, we start the second quarter, 2nd and 17. Morrow and Beasley are alongside Nix from the shotgun over the middle. It's like stealing. They haven't defended number 82 yet today, and Andy Fuller makes it toward a first down for the Auburn Tigers.
You'll see they ran a blitz, and no one came over and picked him up. Now they're going to blitz these people in here. Here's the tight end. They hot receiver to him. No one covers him. There should be a safety coming over to pick him up. See right there? Bates, number 44. Hey, throw me the ball. This guy is going to have the biggest game of his career today.
Remember, it's an injury-riddled defensive backfield right now. One freshman in there. Now they come up in the eye, and Dick, as soon as this snap, I want to go back on the crowd situation facing the Auburn offense. Nix, short drop, throws complete to the 35. Let's start with Jackaroo. Jack?
Well, Brent, under normal circumstances, this would be a loud crowd, but not so in the swamp. Ever since Auburn has taken over the lead, literally the Gators fans have been taken out of the game. And Coach Dick Vermeil, I would think that could allow the Auburn Tigers to do things a little bit differently.
Well, I'll tell you this. They probably could change and go into their audible package, but why? They're playing good football without it, and that just proves you can do that. Don't outsmart yourself. Just get after people.
So again, to go back on what Dick Vermeil reported, Auburn's not changing any plays at the line. Whatever's called in the huddle, they're going with. This was the toss sweep. Davis crashes to the 30 and close to another first down with Lawrence Wright making the stop.
Lawrence Wright made the stop, and Victor Riley, the big true freshman left tackle at 6'6", 310 pounds, made the key block. When you toss the ball to an open side of a formation and get out there, boy, that's successful blocking. Talking about a toss you don't see very often. Look at this. The quarterback there and snaps it to the running back. First time we've seen that in a long time. The old short punt.
3rd and 1 to go. First down, Auburn. Stephen Davis.
I'll tell you, James Bates, number 44, who filled in last week for Dexter Daniels, made that play. Good football player. His dad's the defensive coordinator of Atlanta Falcons. Here he is here. Now, track him. Watch him as the ball is tossed. Now, he's got to stay right behind it. See him staying square, staying behind it, staying behind the ball. Now he goes and makes the play. Nice job by James Bates.
You know, on first down, Dexter Daniels is being taken out by the defensive coordinator, and they're going with an extra DB in this situation. That shoulder just a little bit nicked up, and they're giving it some extra rest.
Well, they've been using those play-action passes.
There was time left on the clock, so that illegal procedure will be the signal in this situation.
We have a dead ball, illegal false start on the offense, the 5-yard penalty.
And that will leave him 1st and 15. Now, here are the statistics from the first 15 minutes.
I think the stats just tell the story that the viewers have watched. This being dominated by Auburn, and you take a look at that. -7 yards running by Florida, -1 in turnover, which resulted in a field goal.
1st and 15. Nix has time, fires complete inside the 19. Frank Sanders with the reception, and John Saunders, Eric Zires got it going for the Bulldogs.
Indeed he does, Brent. Zaire in a 7-7 game, already a touchdown pass to Hassan Graham. This one is 54 yards, and again, it's right on the money, hits him in stride. 14-7 now is the score. Duke playing Clemson. Duke looking to remain unbeaten, leads Clemson 7-0 in the second quarter. Brent.
John, here it is 2nd and 3. Auburn leading 10-7, the battle of the unbeatens. And here's the toss to Beasley. Beasley short of the first down. Kevin Carter, number 57 from Tallahassee, hits him first.
And he did a great job, Brent, because he had to beat 2 people. They were doubling him and going to kick outside him, and he took them both on. That's tough to do. Now watch him right here as they try to double team Carter, number 57. 2 guys, that's a lot of people. And he fights it, gets back underneath, and makes the play. Nice job. No wonder he's going to be an NFL football player.
Johnny Church checks into that defense for the Gators. This is 3rd and a yard now, with Auburn dominating. The toss to Beasley, the hole's there. He took on a blocker. Let's see where they spotted it. It's going to be close. James Bates filling that hole.
And Joe Frazier making the lead block that gives him the first down. Good fullback blocker that time.
Dick, this is going to be very close. It's just inches short. You can see the signal over
I'd
the
go
coach,
for it.
Terry Bowden.
I just hate. Strap it up and go for it. You've got confidence kids right now. They're fired up. They're pumped up. And we know the head coach was fired up last night.
I'll tell you something else about this team. Auburn believes. And if ever there was a moment where they want to show you, the viewer, how good they are, they've come to it.
Yes, they have.
And the Gator defense will use a timeout. So on a 4th and 1, the Gators want to talk about it. 10-7, Auburn leads, and a reminder that at the conclusion of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. For the 24th year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. Well, here they come, Coach.
I think it's a good decision. You've got momentum. You've got the fans out of the ball game.
The toss, Davis, easy. Penalty flag, out of bounds, far side.
Normally on a toss, let me speculate, they'll get a tight end on a hook block using his hands incorrectly. Let's see what they get. I wouldn't doubt it's the left outside tight end here, number 82. That's a tough block to hook block, and many times they get their hands out. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
See those hands. They're going to call that. See, he can't get out of it. He can't get out of it. They're going to call it every time. That's a tough block, and that's what happened.
So now After the penalty is assessed, Matt Hawkins trots onto the field, and Auburn will attempt the field goal with Patrick Sullivan holding.
43-yarder. He missed the last one from this distance. He get his leg on that one.
He's 1 for 2 from that distance. Put 3 more on the board. It's 13-7. Auburn with a big lead for them. Right after this one, our doubleheader here. Hawkins kicking off, and they have put the ball in the hands of Jack Jackson all game long. The risk on this is this: out of bounds, and it comes out on the 35-yard line.
Well, you know, Jackson came into the ball game averaging over 30 yards of return. Maybe they're just as well defensing a ball from the 35-yard line out.
What did Coach Bowden tell you about time of possession in this game?
Well, he said he wanted to control the clock. He felt that was just imperative because they're not a high-scoring offense, and he felt if they could get 24 to 27 points, they'd win. And look at what they've been doing in the first half of football games anyway. And they're doing it today. Look at the average score. They're doing it today, eating up the clock.
10-16, and who would have expected the 16-point underdog to be on the high end of this one? Now Dean. And Taylor was covered a little bit too tightly that time by Mostella, number 47, and the flag came down on the interference call.
Coverage did a nice job of taking the slot square in pattern away where he wanted to throw. He used a draw fake to keep the linebackers from backing into the area he wanted to throw, but then they recovered and got back in there. He tried to throw the layoff. Possible pass interference call.
No flag. No flag. The pass is behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that didn't look like it was behind the line of scrimmage from up here. It might have been right on it.
I think it might have been, Dick.
Okay.
Just a step or two from that scrimmage line, really.
That was the back they faked, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2nd down and 10. Auburn's speed on defense has been impressive so far. Dean, wide open receiver, complete at the 40-yard line, and out of bounds is Aubrey Hill of Miami.
See, that's what happens to those zone defenses. You know, you get the deep pattern and then the corner pattern coming in behind it, and boy, you get them stretched. It really is tough. They'll come off the ball, they push the defense, outside receiver pushes him deep. Now see, now look at him come underneath it. That's what you call a vertical stretch pattern, and it's thrown right on the money. Can't do it any better, and tough to cover.
You know, it confused strong safety Ken Alvis just a moment. He hesitated, and that's why he was late coming over onto coverage that time. Taylor picks his way, the freshman from Belle Glade. Taylor explodes, first down, and out of bounds inside the 25. Oh, he's got a little bit of kick to him.
This is their best kind of running play. They throw the ball so much that you can run a draw on any down. See, they set as pass. Now, Reggie Green, 78, top of your screen, does a nice job of turning the end out. Now they're giving the ball to a guy that has great mobility. Yes, he's a true freshman, but he has great speed as well. Here he goes. See, they can run a draw on any down because every down is a pass down.
15 yards gives them a first down at the Auburn 25. Handoff. Taylor slips a tackle. And he's pounded at the 22-yard line.
Helmet off. Helmet off. See, now that was a quick draw. You'll notice as you evaluate Florida's offense that their running backs always have good yards per carry. They don't get to carry a lot, but draw plays normally average more yards per carry. I've heard about stripping the ball, but not the helmet. Here it comes. He's got it. Brian Robinson, number 40, said, I got the pumpkin. It's not even Halloween. 2nd down. 2 days away, isn't it?
Hey, yes. The Goblins are here already, Coach. Dean. Jackson intercepted, and it's our man again. Happy Halloween from Robinson. A helmet and now the football.
See, he thought he had the burst corner pattern, meaning a pattern where you go inside up and get on the safety and break. But right before Dean threw the ball, he was pressured. And this is when a pressure is better than a sack. Because if you sacked him, he couldn't throw it. Now, here he is. Now, he gets on the safety. That's Robinson, number 20. See, and there he is. He throws it right there. But Dean could not see him. He was under pressure. See that right there, the hit? That's when pressure is better than a sack. You sack him, he wouldn't have thrown the interception.
The ball is spotted on the 1-foot line coming out.
Look at, they take the ball away, these people do.
They've scored 4 times off interceptions.
I know it. They've done a great job. The defense has scored, and then the offense has done a great job with turnovers, too.
Was it LSU who didn't believe they could do it? Stephen Davis and Morrow. And Nick's just trying to give them some breathing room. Just buries himself into the middle. Now let's go back to that 4th down play. Instead of running the toss sweep, if they had run that quarterback, well, never mind.
Yeah. Don't give so many people ideas. You're great at doing that, Musburger.
You know,
you really are.
After the fact.
I know it.
He has been the Wizard of Auburn.
Yeah, he has done a remarkable job. And, you know, I had never met the guy before, met the dad a couple times, but being with him last night, I left fired up, and you were fired up.
Well, I left thinking Auburn was the 16-point favorite.
He had us convinced.
On 2nd and 8, Nix is going to throw it from the end zone. Goes to the big man, and it is incomplete to Frank Sanders.
Anton Lott, the safety, got over. Actually, the way they're playing the coverage, that's a corner playing a quarter of the field over there in a zone principle. Good call. The big thing they want to do down here is give their punter, and they have a great punter in Terry Daniel, room to punt the football. Get out there at least 14 yards so he can line up the normal depth and get a good swing at that football.
Gator fans want the defense to hold, to force a punt, and get some field position here. It's 13-7. Auburn upsetting top-ranked Florida. Off a fake, Nix deep in the end zone. Throws overthrew, and he was open. Frank was open that time, and he didn't pick him up.
Bad throw, and he was forced there a little bit by Mark Campbell right at the end of the throw. But Nix so far has thrown the ball very sharply, and that time the pressure on him forced the bad throw.
Terry Daniel, one of the best punters in the nation.
What he's got to be careful of now, high snap or anything like that, is that he doesn't step back on the end zone line. That's a safety.
There he is. Look how close he is, Coach.
He is close. He's got to get it off quick.
Palmer, the deep man, he drives into the other side of the 50. Now, Sorolla Palmer with speed, an alley. Ridden down at the 31-yard line by Chris Schilling.
They have a real athlete in old Sorolla. They have a very good special teams in Florida this year. They're averaging 11 yards of punt return, Brent, and they're averaging 22 a kickoff. Very good coaching by Coach Zook.
I'll tell you what that interception did. It took time off the clock. 7:50 left, first half. Dean, the quarterback. Taylor is the lone running back. 4 wide receivers for the Gators. The ball at the Auburn 31. Underneath to Taylor. Taylor, with real estate, is inside the 15-yard line.
See, Brent, what they did that time, in that kind of coverage, they have a middle linebacker one-on-one on a running back. See, they've got them all spread out. So what that does, in game plan, they knew they were going to do that. Now you have a running back right here. It's going to be one-on-one on the linebacker. And he goes through. See him pick him up one-on-one. Now shake him, break him, and go back underneath. And that's just what he did. Real good one-on-one route. Tough for a linebacker to cover that back that way.
1st and 10. And Dean making some adjustments at the line.
He sees single coverage. I wouldn't doubt that they try to come back over here to Jackson. There's no coverage there.
He's sacked at the 23-yard line by Gary Walker.
He's an impressive football player. That's his 6th sacks this season. He's a tough, aggressive guy. He'll play on Sunday in the future. Loves to play football. He's sort of a tempo setter. Here he is right here. Now, you've got to give the center some help on him. See, the guard was, they're going out on a type of a screen move there with the guard. You have to help your center in that one-on-one situation.
Defenses are dominating this football game.
Yes, sir. And defensive tackles. Good play inside.
2nd and 17 for the Gators. Taylor, and he's defended. Breaks a tackle. To the 22-yard line. Fred Smith in on him first, and Smith could not bring him down. Had to get back up and pursue him.
And you notice how quickly Fred Smith got there. Again, those white jerseys are flashing. They're rested, they're fresh, they're quick, and they're demonstrating that today. And yeah, I'll tell you this defense is very, very good in the red zone. They've been down there 15 times. They've only given up 10 scores. 6 of them touchdowns. That's pretty good percentage.
Now 3rd and 19 for the Gators. 3 wide receivers to the left. Jackson's off to his right on the short side. Dean racing in that direction is going to keep it. Dean short of the first down. He's down at the 5-yard line. He's a couple yards short. It was Kenny Alvis making the stop on the Gator quarterback.
Everybody man-to-man coverage. Nobody man-to-man on the quarterback. Everybody spread out of there, see? And that gave him the room. He is not known as a running quarterback, so they can go ahead and play man coverage without real concern for this type of action. He does a nice job of pumping the ball, keeping people from reacting, then gets it down there and misses the first down. 4th and inches, they're going for it.
Dick, this is more in inches.
They like to run towards Bilkey, number 39, when he's offset there in the fullback.
It was the Auburn defense calling a timeout. And Bilkey, the blocking fullback, in the game, and we'll be back. Ball at the 4-yard line. They got anything special, Coach?
Well, they do have. I watched them in practice, but they're not in that formation, so they have a different thought.
Taylor's the running back. Jackson, the receiver, gets the ball on the handoff. Jackson, touchdown, Florida. There's a little bit of trickery from Coach Spurrier.
Hold it right there. Normally, this guy continues on. See, this time they hand it off to him. See, that's the deception of the play. Normally, see, they don't give the ball to that guy. He goes over and changes the strength of the formation. This time they gave the ball. Good deception. Good job.
Judd Davis hammers the extra point. For the first time, the #1 team in the nation leads in the Swamp by a point, 14-13 over Auburn.
The other negative is it starts bringing the crowd back into the game. And boy, it is loud in this place when they get going. They don't lose many when he's leading.
5:08 to go here in the first half. Hope you're enjoying this one with Dick Vermeil and Jack Arute. I'm Brett Musburger. Bailey and Sanders back deep again for the Tigers.
The only real area of weakness that I recognized in preparation for this ball game in Auburn, neither return team, kickoff return team or punt return team, is doing a real good job. They're only averaging 16 yards a return here, and that's 10th in the SEC. Now, that doesn't mean this one they're going to return it for a big one, but they haven't been doing a real good job.
Short. Fielded at the 10 by Sanders. Fumble!
Boy, there's hitting out there.
He reached back on the ball.
You know, sometimes it's not the ball carrier's fault. You know, you get hit so hard, and as a coach, you're upset when you see him fumble him, you know. But, God, when you get hit like that, every once in a while, you're going to lose one. You know, the other thing about a receiver as a return, there's the ball right there on the turf, Brent. The other thing about a receiver, he doesn't get hit daily in a practice session like a running back does. You know, and he is more apt to fumble than a running back.
Jackson with the touchdown. Morrow, the fullback. Davis.
They
Kevin
picked up
Carter.
They have picked up the tempo. Florida defense right now is playing with more enthusiasm than they were playing initially. See, the score has changed. They were a little bit sleepy, maybe a little bit cocky at the start of this football game. Right now, they're swarming. See what I'm talking about? Right there in the pits, Johnson, number 61, Carter, 57. Hey, they're working. Now watch the help come from the right-hand side. Here they come. Look at those blue jerseys swarm.
Beasley into the Auburn backfield. Nix. Complete. Short of the first down. Fuller again, and now the Gators attacking the tight end with a little more relish.
They're saying he fumbled the football.
The officials may be giving it to him. They are. Gators ball on the late call.
Whew, that was a very late call.
I think he may be overruled. Let's hang on here a minute. I think one of the officials said it was down. Let's hang on. The coaches from Auburn are halfway out on the field. The one official stood there and then suddenly he pointed his hand at the goal line.
Yeah.
I think they're going to say that he was down.
The whistle was blown. The man was down, so it'll be the next down.
I saw it that way, Brent. I don't know if it was that way, but that's what I saw.
Take another look.
Take a look right here. Here he is, right top middle of your screen. Going down, going down. He's down. He's down. Good call. One more. Look, see, the ball's out there. It gives you the idea that he's going to lose it, but he gets tucked back under. Good call.
Now 3rd and 2.
They better cover that tight end better than they've been covering him.
There's that snap again. The Gators were ready.
Yeah, Ellis Johnson was in there. See, those kind of things only work once in a while. See, and one time you've had success. Hey, forget it. You know, I can remember calling one of these when I thought I was a smart coach, and called it when they snapped the ball as they're going to snap right here. See, and he snapped to the running back. The running back forgot he was going to get the ball, hit him right in the stomach, and dropped on the ground. So help me God.
Coach, one of my first heroes used to be a tailback at the University of Minnesota. Paul Giel used to take that direct snap.
Really? You're much older than I am. You remember that.
So on 4th down, Auburn will punt it away at 3:40. Not wanting to give the Gators a layup here. An easy touchdown before the intermission. Remember about this Auburn team, they prefer to be behind going into the 4th quarter. That's just their personality.
Lousy punt.
We got to stop bragging about these two punters.
Yeah.
Palmer swarmed and down to 22.
Well, they have swallowed the olive. In practice, I'm watching those guys, and they're kicking them over there out of bounds. I mean, they look super.
Now here comes Mr. Dean again. Now let me, Dick, give the audience an overview of how Spurrier handles quarterbacks in practice.
I'll tell you, he coaches everything they do. He's the head coach, yes, but he coaches the quarterbacks and runs the offense. Every throw that they throw, he goes over and corrects them, even if they throw it complete. Every drill, everything they do, and it's really fun as an ex-football coach to watch a guy zero in on that position. And he says, you know, I'm a believer that when they don't play well, it's my fault. And that's a great quality of a football coach. Take a little heat off that position.
Well, the Gators with a 1-point advantage right now, and Dean going back for more over the middle, intercepted at the 30-yard line by Mr. Robinson. There's a penalty flag down. Robinson out of bounds at the 43. That's his second pick, but there is a penalty flag thrown back at the 17.
No way should he have thrown that ball down there with two safeties sitting right down there in the middle. Coach Spurrier knows that. We may see Werfel. We may see Danny Werfel come in. He's upset.
We have holding on the offense. declined, first down.
Auburn with 3 minutes now to work.
Right, and you can coach all you want. Now, a quarterback like Dean should know better than to throw the post pattern down there in between two safeties. Yes, see the safety right up in the middle, number 20, the white. He uses play action fake. Now he's waiting for the post pattern. Now Larry goes. Now you'll see another safety. There's 2 guys in here. There was 2 of them there, and he just goes back and picks it up.
Looked like he was all alone.
Yeah.
1st and 10 for Nix and the Tigers. And remember, 3 minutes to go in the first half.
They're really spreading the defense out right now. It's a good time to run, Brent.
And Davis will do just that. Frazier with the lead block, cuts his man, and Davis to the 48-yard line.
Real nice job by Dexter Danley, the inside linebacker, Brent. He followed that ball all the way out. It looks like it's going to be a big play, and he makes the play.
Dick, how far do they have to get for a field goal here in the waning minutes of the first
Well,
half?
his longest field goal is 45 yards. You know, the last one he kicked at 43 would have been a good at 47, maybe 50 yards.
Now we got 2.5 minutes, and we've got a 2nd down. The Tigers with only 1 timeout remaining. Nix off a play fake, throwing to the right, is going to go long. Wants Sanders, great catcher, interference at the 15-yard line. The penalty will be enough to give them the first down. That was Fred Weary. They went to work on the youngster from Jacksonville.
What they did, Brent, is they made him believe they were throwing for the first down by running an out move for the first down, then turned and went up. And what they did is went after the 2nd string guy. Remember, Kennedy is out.
On the defense, the 15-yard penalty. First down.
Very good call by Tommy Bowden, the offensive coordinator. You know, see what I mean right here? He makes the out move right there. Weary jumps it. He hadn't seen many of those as a freshman. Here he goes. He gets it deep. Now he runs up. He grabs him by the shoulder. He did the smart thing. Good coaching by Tom Bowden up here in the booth, making calls like that. Not complicated, but very good calls.
And yes, folks, that is another son of Bobby.
Yeah.
Who is upstairs here, Tommy. It was nice to get to, well, at least watch him listen to his brother yesterday. 1st and 10 for Auburn. Now they've got 2 minutes and 11 seconds. They've penetrated the 40-yard line.
They're coming after him.
Davis will cut inside the block. Davis will get inside the 30-yard line.
See what they did? They came, outside linebackers came and blitzed it, and they got him kicked out and got turned up inside the blitz. Normally, that kind of blitz will constrict the play and turn it back in much quicker than that. They were just a little bit late in getting there. You'll see what I'm talking about from an end zone picture. The blitzes are coming this way from each end, each side, and it doesn't get there quick enough. See, Wrighton got a nice block.
Morrow and Beasley are the running backs in 2nd and 1. Off a fake, Nix is going to throw it. One to screen to Morrow. The Gators were all over him that time, however, as number 61, Ellis Johnson, had penetrated the offensive line and was in pursuit.
See, they're at a 44-yard field goal distance right now. So he doesn't want to take a sack. That's the one thing he doesn't want to do.
Definitely not happy about how things have unfolded here in the first half. 1 timeout left for Auburn. 1:27. They'd love to have a fresh set of downs. The clock would stop on the first down. They'd love to get it right here. End around, fake.
Got it.
Here it comes. Sanders has got it. Sanders could score. He does.
They were in a short yardage defense, all stacked inside. They really didn't have anybody to block outside on the perimeter when the reverse happened. They like to run reverses. See what I'm talking? They get full flow, get the ball moving, hand it off, clean exchanges come. Now we have white jerseys out here and no one to block. See, Jason Taylor, 66, he says, hey, give me someone to hit. He just takes it on in for the score.
Now there's a timeout being called because in the scoreboard situation right now, Auburn wants to go for 2 after the 28-yard touchdown run by Sanders on the end around. puts the Tigers back ahead. Remember, they kicked a field goal after the first interception. Now they have scored a touchdown after the second. Turnovers have been the difference. Folks, you think you can find anybody who wants to give you Auburn in 16 in the second half? If you do, call me. What's the number in the booth?
Well executed play. See, and plays like that called at the right time. That's the critical thing. Calling it in that situation. See, everybody constricted. They're thinking of the short yardage play. When Auburn beat them last year, they were +3 in turnovers. Right now they're ahead, and they are +3 in turnovers. Turn the ball over, you lose.
You know, what's interesting about what has happened right here, and like lightning, they scored. We were talking about Auburn running the clock out here in the first half, and Jimmy Tubbs, my spotter, reminds me that a minute 17 left. Florida has the ability to come down and put something else on the board here. So this first half is not over, and now Auburn will go for 2. This would put them up by 7, wouldn't it, if Nix can convert on the roll? There's a penalty flag. It's incomplete, but there's a penalty marker down in the end zone on this incomplete pass.
We have an illegal pick on the offensive team. But extra points no good, so they decline the penalty. Go to the kickoff.
You know, I have joked several times here today about the 16 points because Terry Bowden did use it as a rallying cry. We asked him last night. I said, Coach, when a number comes out like that, that's kind of looks outrageous for an unbeaten, what do you? He said, I called the youngsters together and I said, now y'all understand, we got 8 starters back from offense, 8 back from defense. We got 16 back. Let's take this and then I'll tell the story. Go ahead.
Well, they're using that delayed sprint out, buying time right there. Good job of defense. They're playing zone in the end zone. It's tough to throw the ball against the zone in the end zone, Brent. But go with the story. It's better than the replay.
Well, that's what I thought. Anyway, he said, so I said, now look, we got 16 starters back, and somebody, and they're supposed to be smart people, says that team in Florida has gotten 16 points better in 1 year.
And we beat them last year.
And we beat them. He said, I don't believe it. And neither should you. And they used it all week over in Auburn as a rallying cry for the youngsters. And I said, Terry, how many points do you need? He said, well, let me tell you. Florida scored 70 points in 2 games. You throw that out, that doesn't count. They got 42 against Louisiana State. Remember, they blocked a punt. They also ran an interception in. They went in for the 5-yard line. So you throw that out. I told our youngsters, you scored 28, we can win the game.
That's exactly what he told them. And I'll tell you, I really enjoyed listening to that explanation because he had me convinced.
Oh, yeah.
And if he could convince me, I know he can convince those kids.
Well, you know, he's got a law degree. He also spent some time over at Oxford. He's one of the more verbal, articulate coaches that we have been around.
Well, the advantage of that degree, if he can't beat him, he could sue him. You know.
Short kickoff, and it's returned. They might as well just kicked it out of bounds and gone to the 35-yard line. Well, here is the score. This is the play that we want to see over again with the wide receiver, Frank Sanders, the baseball player from Auburn.
Tossing the ball on their favorite play. It just draws everybody. Freeze it right there. Freeze. Look at all the blue jerseys right here. The ball's going to come back this way. Here now they've got, look at all the white jerseys out there. They don't have anybody to block. That's a tough position to be.
Dick, they spread it out now with 5 wide receivers and no running backs, working with a minute. Dean steps away from the pressure on the run.
They're heading the sideline.
Down at the 42, 2 timeouts. Jack Garoot.
Well, Brent, you were talking about Terry Bowden. Consider this fact. He's really had to be a good talker, not only competing with his father, but the fact that his father is pulling for Florida. Can you believe that?
Oh, I don't believe that.
He says he needs Florida to win to be undefeated.
Yeah, we believe that. Oh, yeah, we believe that,
well, listen,
Jack.
wait till the play, and I'll tell you the rest of the story.
Jack, here comes Dean. There's the third. It's Chris Schelling picking it off. Schelling, if he gets out of bounds, they can kick a field goal here. He steps out of bounds with 26 seconds, and a face mask is going to get tacked on. Oh, baby.
Terry Dean is not seeing the coverage. See, there was coverage underneath, and they were trying to get in between the zone with the receiver, and the short coverage guy just dropped off and picked it up. Can't throw it in there like that, Terry.
We have a personal foul. 15-yard face mask.
15 yards?
Defensive team. It'll be 15 yards.
He had time to read this properly. Underneath coverage, see, it wasn't the guy covering him, it was the underneath coverage. Chris Schilling, that's his 3rd interception this year.
That ball is inside the 20. Inside the Jackaroo, take me back now on the.
Okay, let's go back.
You gotta sell me now, partner. You gotta
I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what was in the paper,
partner.
I'm going to tell you what was in the paper.
Jack, you read the
in order for Florida State to have a legitimate chance to win the national championship, they've got to play an unbeaten Florida team. Ann Bowden, Bobby's wife, said, "Well, we'll pull for Florida." Terry Bowden said, "That's not unusual, but I think I can convince my mother to convince my father to pull for us." Haven't talked to him today. I don't know what happened.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down again with 21 seconds to go. Oh yeah, I can just see Coach Bobby Bowden pulling for the Gators.
I don't know about our guy on the sideline down there.
We got to. You don't believe everything, Jack? You read in the newspapers. There's a little smoke screen coming out of Tallahassee, partner.
Yeah, but I know Bobby Bowden, and he wants to go after the national championship. And really, this is, as we said at the top of the show, the chase to the national championship for the last couple of years has had to come through the state of Florida. And Bobby probably won't admit it unless you stood him up in the pulpit on a Sunday, but I'm sure deep down in his heart he's got mixed emotions about this game, because if you take a look at the way the coalition works, he has got to play an unbeaten Florida team if the Seminoles have any chance of chasing a 2nd national championship.
Long way.
Well, that's all right, Jack. Keep talking.
21 seconds to go now. 1st and 20 after the penalty. Expires complete and out of bounds inside the 20. Stops the clock at 16.
See what he did with that completed pass? He just increased a field goal's kicker's percentage of kicking a field goal from that distance, probably about 12 to 15%. Much more efficient from that distance. Good job.
Bailey, who made the catch, scored the 1st touchdown on a wonderful catch down in the end zone. Sanders, the other wide receiver, on the end around, scores their 2nd. They've been the big play guys here today. Remember, they are out of timeouts. They're within field goal range. 2nd and 14.
Good move.
Out of bounds again, and they pick up Bailey.
See, and one of the problems they're having with tight coverage is we were in tight coverage a while ago, and they got beat deep. He's setting them up for the kill and making this kind of comment.
That sounds just like Pops. Okay?
Yeah. He says he talks to his dad once or twice a week, but this week he didn't talk strategy with him.
He made a slip, though, before he said that. He said, "We talk once or twice a week.
Yeah. He probably asked, "Is it true you do want me to lose this game?"
Now 3rd down and 4. High to the corner. Sanders incomplete. Well defended that time, and that was the youngster, Weary. So it's field goal time now for Mr. Hawkins from Pensacola, Florida.
He's 3 for 4 from kicking at this distance, Frank.
This is a 25-yarder, Dick. Having missed the 2-point conversion, this would be a 1-point bonus for him. And they get it. Terry Bowden and the Auburn Tigers will take a 22-14 lead into the locker room. And Steve Spurrier will take some anger into the Florida locker room. The Gators are not accustomed to being behind at the half. And coming up, John Saunders with scores and highlights from around the country. Surprise in Gainesville, 22-14. Auburn leading Florida. Dick Vermeil, we get ready to start the 2nd half. What must Florida do to get back in it?
I think quit trying to throw the deep pass. That's what's getting picked away. Go to ball control throwing and the draw game.
Will we see Danny Werfel?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Jack Arute was coming out of the locker room with Steve Spurrier as we watched the Gators kick off. Jack, what did Steve tell you?
Well, Brent, I asked him about the Wuerffel situation. He said he will not play Wuerffel in the third quarter. He says, I want to wait and see how things go. He's invested a lot of time in Terry Dean this year, and he wants to stay with him as long as he possibly can. He made the call on that intercepted pass, that being Spurrier. He wasn't upset as we thought with Dean.
Frank Sanders' jack is hammered short of the 20-yard line. Some enthusiasm on the special team for the Gators. They will try to bring the 85,000 folks, well, minus a few travel in here from Alabama. They'll try to get their crowd back in the game. They start with an 8-point deficit. They're on defense. Patrick Nix. And a very smooth performance by Terry Bowden's Auburn Tigers here in the first half. The key stat, the Gators turned it over 4 times, resulted in 12 points. Auburn has not yet turned the ball over to Florida. Davis is the tailback. Frazier's the fullback. Nix at the line. They've gone with everything called in the huddle. That was the plan. Here's the pitch to Davis. Davis has a crease. Davis to the 31-yard line and a first down.
See, what they're doing is tossing it to the short side and just staying in front of defensive linemen, and they get it stretched and open up holes for him to cut back. You'll see what I'm talking about right here. The offensive lineman will come off here, and they'll get it stretched like this, and he'll take it and he'll cut it back up in the zones.
Tyrone.
See the hole there now? Now get it stretched. They stretch it, they make it wider, and then up inside he goes. Good design. They've got to get the inside linebacker at the point of attack quickly on that play.
Dick Tyrone Goodson, the freshman, checked in at wide receiver, and Harold Morrow, the fullback, also came in the game. The shotgun. Now the fake of the inside handoff, deflected pass and incomplete. The tight end was going to the sideline, and Kevin Carter with a hand on the ball for the Gators.
Brent, as we look at the numbers, you made the point. Here comes Carter off there. He batted that one. He's an excellent football player. Played well in the first half, actually. You made the point of the turnovers. 4 turnovers, 12 points. 239 yards total offense, totally going the other way. And look at first downs, 12-7. Time of possession, 9 minutes, 20 seconds. Oh, they're getting their fanny handed to them.
Second down and 10. The ball at the 31-yard line for Auburn, coming out. There is the fake, and it's the tight end to midfield, and they have made a living hitting Andy Fuller yet again.
That's just good game planning. As I've said 2 or 3 times in the first half, they hadn't been using the tight ends. Now they use action, fake the draw, and get it to them.
But I want to ask you about the other side of that. Forget what Auburn's doing. If I'm sitting up here and I'm watching them make a living in the first half off the tight end, don't I do something defensively?
Well, see, what they did with that is they faked to the running back to pull the linebacker off the tight end, who's supposed to go over and bracket him inside. And that's what's really tough. They should have Carter, who's on the tight end, go through the tight end and knock him off balance as he releases.
The key now for Auburn in the second half is to dominate the clock.
They're blitzing now. See, they've activated audibles because they've controlled the crowd.
Oh, is hit by Ben Hanks.
Bob Pruitt, the defensive coordinator, said they planned to blitz that off-tackle gap. This is the first time it was effective. He's an outside linebacker, strong safety type guy, number 11. Here he comes. He's coming right up in that guard tackle gap, the B gap. That's where he wanted to go, and he got it. And to stop that, Victor Riley has to close quickly, number 68.
Young man from Miami. Second down and 11 for Auburn. The toss. There it is, cut off at the 45-yard line, still going, and finally he's down at the 46. Anthon Lott coming in with Kevin Carter, and it was Carter who got him first.
See, that time, Victor Riley tried to stretch that defensive end, Kevin Carter, but he didn't get him stretched, and Carter pushed him upfield. You'll see the battle going on right here. He wants to stretch him, but he pushed him upfield. You'll see the battle. They toss it. Excuse me, I drew it the other way. 57, top of your screen. See, and he got the penetration. That's what you've got to do to that toss. Looked at that one upside down, Brent.
It can happen. Third and 13, shotgun for Nixon Auburn. Almost intercepted by Lott at the 40-yard line. Bailey, the intended receiver.
Getting the crowd back into it.
Sarola Palmer, the junior from Louisiana, back deep to return this punt.
He's averaged over 10 yards of punt return, Brent, and when you think about that, that's like adding 1 first down to your offensive drive. And that 10 yards, that's precious.
Booms one. He's going to let it go into the end zone, and it'll come out in the 20. We'll take a break. Just underway here in the second half. And Auburn, 16-point underdog with the lead. Well, Terry Dean, 3 interceptions in the first half. There's a tight end in the formation for the Gators now, so perhaps Coach Spurrier has elected to see what he can get from Fred Taylor, make it a little more conservative here in the second half in an effort to come back. There's Taylor on a cutback. Taylor to the 26-yard line and down, and Marcellus Mostella over there, and you see number 45 down on the field. That is quite a story. That's Jason Miska, folks. He's out of Bridgeport, Connecticut, and his family said, hey, look, you know, you're on the streets here in Bridgeport. Go on down there and see if you can make a football player. He went down, he delivered pizza for a year and a half. He was a total walk-on. They keep trying to take him out of the lineup, and he keeps battling his way back in there. And here's the young man from Bridgeport, Connecticut, on second down, and in the middle of that defensive stack with Alonzo Etheridge here. And the Gators are going to go to run. I want to tell you one other thing about Miska. During the offseason, they let him dress up in any kind of garb they want to over in Auburn, and he dresses up as a street gang member. Well, let me tell you something else about Miska. He's trying to amass a 1,300 on his SATs. He's from a family of educators. He's a very bright young man. Probably could have played Ivy League football, but he's made a name for himself in Auburn, Alabama.
From the sounds of it, I think he delivered you the pizza.
Jason Miska coming up over the top. Speaking of pizza, where did you take me last night here?
Leonardo's. Leonardo's. Great
That goes
pizza.
to the top of our charts.
Our charts.
We do that in the...
You know, the one other thing you forgot to add on
delicious.
Miska, though, is when you said, Coach, how'd you like to have a couple of them? He said, oh, no, one's enough.
I said, I go over to Bridgeport every now and then. I drop by the bookshop over there, see how the horses are running. He says, no, no, no. We don't want any more.
You know, you need a guy like that that's a tempo setter, a morale guy, and it's obvious that Spurrier has decided to strap it up, become a little more conservative his approach here. 4th down in this situation. Woo!
Oh, baby. Got to make this one. Here comes Taylor. It's slow developing. Auburn jumped on him. Let's see where they put it down. Mike Pelton, their fine defensive lineman, was in there. He might have just gotten it. He did. First down.
I'll tell you, that is a gutsy call. A chance to go. You're risking it all right there. You know, they're not a big, strong, physical running team. They can run all right, but it's not what they really like to do. And you see number 75, that big Donnie Young get the kick-out block, and that was critical. That allowed him to get back up and get that first down.
1st and 10. Dean. There he comes. There was real estate in the middle, and Taylor to the 37-yard line, and Etheridge again.
Swain and Young doing a nice job on the draw blocking up inside. This Freddie Taylor, true freshman. The other 2 running backs, Elijah Williams, a redshirt freshman, and Tyrone Baker, a redshirt freshman. Both had been playing, both injured, not here. So the load, he has to carry it.
2nd down with Bilkey set in front of Taylor. And the Gators have come to run, haven't they?
And I'll tell you something, Bilkey did a real nice job, the lead fullback. I think this is a good decision for Spurrier because it gets them back in mentally tougher into the ball game and say, hey, let's take these guys on physically. They're kicking our butts. Let's get after theirs. And I think that's going to help them through the ball game because he's going to get back to finesse football here soon. You watch.
And again, the point we want to make about Auburn. Coach Bowden has billed this as a Super Bowl for his players. Again, they cannot go to a bowl game. They cannot play for an SEC championship. They put it all on the line here today in Gainesville. 1st and 10 off a play fake. Over the middle, intercepted. That is the 4th interception, and Fred Smith picks it off for Auburn.
Wow, he was covered all the way. Look at Coach Spurrier. I've been here, Coach. I know that feeling. I've had quarterbacks do the same thing. Well, I'll tell you, And this is not Terry Dean's style. He's only thrown 5 interceptions. I mean, he had protection. He threw right into it, right to him. That nickel back right in there. Freddie Smith going with that extra defensive back is helping him. Look at this turnover graphic. My gosh. -5. You lose when you're -5, believe me.
And yet Florida's only down by 8 with a lot of time. Now 1st and 10. They're coming. They're trying to get pressure on Nix. He's hit on the delivery and incomplete, but they were bringing a load that time. Mark Kemble beat the block. Young man from Miami got in on Nix.
Remember, defensive coordinator Bob Pruitt said they were going to once in a while jump into what he called a flex defense, a drastic change defense. That's what they did that time. That's how they got the real good pressure on him. Look at this. Both threw 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions to zip. Patrick Nix, you win.
So Danny Werfel gets up again. The young man from Fort Walton, who was the starter for Florida in their loss at Auburn last year. And he certainly figures to see some playing time now. Nix throws complete to the sideline. Nice work by quarterback and receiver as Thomas Bailey works the sideline. So I'm Mr. Saunders in New York, sir. What's up with the Buckeyes and the Spartans?
Well, Brent, in that Big Ten matchup, Michigan State has been leading throughout, but the Buckeyes here, 3rd and 3 at their own 24. Eddie George busts it loose. A good block right there, and forget it. 76 yards for the touchdown. Ohio State has taken the lead 10-7. Brent.
It figured to be a pretty good battle. The Spartans probably not as bad a football team as they looked last week in that 20-point loss to Michigan in Ann Arbor. This is 3rd and 1 for Auburn. Big play. Here it is. First down easy. Davis in a foot race. Davis now inside, muscles his way to the 26-yard line.
See, the linebacker, inside linebacker, came up and took that fullback on physically. I mean, it was great collision, but he didn't get any penetration, so that allowed the back to bounce to the outside and up the sideline for the first down. That's the same defense they ran the reverse on earlier for the big play. They may run it again in short yardage.
Just notice how quiet the crowd is right now.
I know it.
They are stunned. First and 10. Here comes Hanks again. Nix gets it off to Morrow, who makes a fine catch, but losing his balance down at the 30-yard line. And there was pressure coming, and Nix again takes a solid hit.
At that time, Kevin Freeman was in there on him. Again, defensive coordinator Bob Pruitt electing to bring pressure. You see Hanks coming in there. They eat up blockers. They couldn't block them all. Here's Freeman, and then wham, there goes Carter again, stepping up and putting the pressure on the quarterback.
This is 2nd and 16 for Coach Bowden.
You can see defensively they've become more aggressive with their approach to attacking the Auburn front. They're going after them more, saying if you're going to throw the ball, go ahead and throw it, but we're coming after you, a little more pressure.
That could force Auburn to leave that tight end in a block.
They're coming again, Brent.
Or fires it. Strong arm back to the original line of scrimmage, perhaps a gain of a yard.
That man should not be able to get there that cleanly, Brent. They've got enough people to handle those inside gaps and turn the guy away from the quarterback. He had a direct shot, and Freeman really gave it to him.
It is right at the point of the original line of scrimmage, so instead of 3rd and 9, it's 3rd and 10 right now. There's 7:27 to go. The 5th Gator turnover of the game. Auburn turns 4 in the first half into 12 points, leads at 22-14. Nix. Incomplete. Sanders and Lott with the coverage.
Sort of surprises me they elected to go for the 6-point play. Now, granted, he saw the man-to-man coverage, and he has a great receiver in Sanders, the great leaper that made the nice play early in the ball game. But you would have thought maybe, hey, if I'm going to throw it 1-to-1, I'll just throw the 6 or 7 yard sure completion and let him break the tackle to make the first down.
Matt Hawkins in for another field goal. This would give them an 11-point lead. One of the backup quarterbacks.
He's getting the same distance every kick today.
Here's the 42-yarder. Sullivan's the holder. High. No good.
That's got to be a lift to the Florida defensive team. They're coming off. They're excited. They think they've done a good job. Bring the offense on with some enthusiasm.
5 turnovers and only 12 points. Florida's just slipping free, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Well, after the 4th interception, Coach Steve Spurrier really without a choice. And Danny Werfel from Fort Walton enters the game. He has replaced Terry Dean, who threw 4 interceptions, and this has to be a miserable moment for the young man who had to watch in Auburn. Remember, he grew up a big Auburn fan, was committed to go there until Steve Spurrier signed on as coach. He was the first signee for Steve Spurrier when he became head coach, but they had to get him out right now, and Danny Werfel in, and he snaps off a completion to Chris Doring with his first pass of the game.
And see, the other thing they did, they called the type of pattern that is a very high completion percentage throw. And let him start out with some confidence. This guy was a starter for 6 games last year. He threw 58% completing, and he threw 22 touchdowns. He's no rookie at the job, but I think that's a good way to start the guy out.
Chains move, and it's 1st and 10 for Werfel.
They're lining up in blitz look right now, Brent. Maybe they're going to bluff, but it looks like blitz. They're checking out of it now.
Complete to the 40-yard line. Out of bounds near the 1st down marker. Anthony.
You know, to throw the ball so efficiently as he did on that one, nobody around him. They have to block the best pass rushers. The best pass rushers are these guys. That number 50 belt, he's the guy, and you can see right now Swain is doing a real good job. If you block him, you can set in the pocket and throw with confidence that you aren't going to get hit in the throat.
About 6 inches, actually, for the 1st down here. It's 2nd and very short for Florida. 1st down. Taylor inside the 45. Fine run by the freshman from Belgrade. Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, you know, you talk about what a great game Taylor's had to have to stay in the game because he was trying to replace Eric Rhett, and they were injured on the tailbacks. Well, listen to this. When he came here to the University of Florida, the coaches felt that he had the capacity to follow in Eric Rhett's footsteps, so they thought they could maybe get him to pump it up a little bit by offering him Rhett's old jersey, number 33. Taylor said, no, thank you. I want my high school number 21.
Another completion. Werfel completes his first 3 passes. This is to Aubrey Hill.
Again, now we didn't see one of those sprint out actions in the 1st half. Now they're getting the quarterback outside. They're changing the pocket. Now the defense doesn't know where to define the rush. Shall we come inside? Heck, he's not inside. He's outside. Shall we shut him off outside? He's inside. Doing a good job of mixing it up. If they'd have done a little of this with Dean, maybe he'd still be playing.
First and 10. The ball is at the 26-yard line. Werfel, end zone, Anthony, touchdown, Florida.
He got that foot in there. Here he goes, a true freshman. He did. He got that foot.
Friedel Anthony, who played high school football with Fred Taylor.
Going for 2.
In an attempt to tie it as Werfel comes in and lights a fire. Goes 4 of 4 for 63 yards and the touchdown pass to Anthony. Back in at quarterback, will attempt to tie it. Pressure. Incomplete. Auburn leads by 2, 22-20.
They wanted to try the screen. They were in man-to-man coverage. Covered it all the way. Marcellus Mostella was on him like a fly.
But the crowd, folks, is back in it in Gainesville.
CFA College Football on ABC, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, where safety, reliability, performance, and value are never optional. And Beechwood Aged Budweiser. It's always been true. This Bud's for you. 22-20, Auburn leading, but it's down to 2. 5:30 to go, third quarter. And the Gators, whose brand new quarterback came in and lit a fire, kick it off now to the Tigers. And this is Sanders. Fumble! It's loose. Florida's got it for a moment out of the back of the end zone. They'll confer on this now to see if there was possession, if it was a safety, or what the situation is. It comes out on the 20. Astor Sizemore will get it all sorted out. We also have a penalty flag down at the 20, I'm told. This could have been a disaster.
It's going to be ruled a touchback. The blue team knocked the ball through the end zone. We have an illegal push in the back against the white team. It'll make the ball first down and 10 from the 10-yard line.
We're going to watch this, and I think this is a good call. The ball is free right here. Now, the Florida player, in my opinion, did not have possession. The ball is still loose. Going. Now it goes out of the back of the end zone, and that's why it comes out. After the penalty, the ball comes back on the 10-yard line, where it will be first down for Auburn.
You know, that's the second time he has fumbled the football, returning it, Brent. Wide receivers returning balls. They don't get drilled every day in regard to carrying the ball. They get drilled in regard to running with it, catching the ball.
The crowd alive in Gainesville. Davis with a big hole in the middle. Davis explodes to the 25, 30. Davis out at the 45-yard line. Lott.
The offensive guards have to do a great job to run up inside like that. That would be Jason Taylor, 66, Leonard Thomas, and Shannon Robique up inside. Give the offensive lineman for credit on that one. There was a great big hole. Now, line up right here. Big guards right here, center right here. See the outside techniques here. Great big hole. Linebackers are supposed to fill that. They didn't fill it. Nice block right there by Jason Taylor on the linebacker. Good blocks by wide receivers. Off he goes.
First down. He's now carried 16 times. Davis has for 105 yards. Contact. Now, let me see this play one more time. Demetric Jackson. The question is not whether the foot's on the line. The question the officials have to make in that decision is whether or not he had possession.
And he really didn't.
He did not have possession.
You know, this Florida defense came in here, the #1 defensive team in the country against the run, and Auburn is running the ball on them. So that shows you how strong that offensive line is.
It's first and 15, and Fred Beasley.
He has a little quickness to him, Beasley does. He's a little more breakaway type guy.
It is complete to Sanders.
I really like to watch Sanders catch the ball. He turns into a running back as soon as he catches the football. Flag down. The other thing you want to notice is they continually working to the right where the starting corner is out. Larry Kennedy's out, and they're working on that freshman cornerback over there.
We have a dead ball, personal foul, gets the defense, be 15 yards, first down.
You know, they're the most penalized team in the SEC. That's a dumb play. You need things going for you, not against you. You got 10 guys doing it right, and one guy loses poise, personal foul, stupid football.
Now 1st and 10. The ball is at the 35-yard line.
They're coming after him.
Complete. And he hits Bailey on that far side.
See what they did that time. That blitz a while ago, they didn't pick him up. This time they picked everything up inside, and they could still throw the football. Good adjustment by the coaching staff over there. Offensive line coach Rick Trickett doing a nice job.
Second down and 6. Davis breaks a tackle.
He does break tackles. He doesn't knock guys back. You just don't knock him down. He comes off those tackles. And we both noticed that in watching game tapes of a week ago. He's one of those guys that bounces off people, not necessarily knocks them back. Must have real fine balance.
And made a yard out of that, Dick.
Right now, every yard they can make is important because they're eating up the clock on these guys. That was their game plan, eat up the clock. And Florida's in a problem, and if they defense them with 7 guys, the defense to run, they throw it. When they bring in, spread it out, they run it.
3rd and 5. Nix in the shotgun. Incomplete. Sanders drops one on him.
See, he caught the ball high, thumbs together, which he should do, but he pulled the hands down and pulled the ball to the ground. Didn't get it locked, and he knows he did that. He doesn't drop many footballs. He's the 5th all-time receiver in the history of Auburn football. Remember Terry Beasley? He's the guy who's the #1 receiver. 4th down.
They're going on 4th and 5 at the 4-minute mark. Low snap. Nix comes up, fires incomplete, and Bailey claiming that he was interfered with, but he doesn't get the call.
See, they didn't go for the field goal because they've missed a couple at that distance, Brent. So they said, to heck with it, let's go ahead and try to get that first down. The bad snap, you lose your concentration as a quarterback. He cannot see what the linebacker's doing. He didn't look panicked, though. He regained his poise. Give the credit right there to Fred Murray, the freshman that they've been picking on, number 24. He bats it away.
Danny Werfel.
That's a pretty good ratio right there. 4 for 4, 63, and a touchdown.
The only one not reflected in there was when he tried to set the screen in the 2-point conversion. That's the only one that's gone wrong for Danny, and that's the difference in the game. Florida trailing by 2 right now. Taylor, the freshman, picks his way for a couple of yards before Schelling whacks him. Oh, can that Chris Schelling bring it?
They're really spreading the defense right now. Wayne Hall is spreading them out. He knows they like to throw the ball, and he's got them spread out. You should be able to run efficiently against the number of people they have in there. They got 5 guys in there to 6 guys in there to defense and run, and spreading out the rest of them. See, there's 6 guys in there defense and run, and the rest of them are out there spread.
Now Werfel under pressure, sacked at the 21-yard line. Mike Pelton coming in, number 50 out of Goshen, Alabama.
That guy has 11 sacks, 12 sacks in his career right now, and a really good football player. He's already been invited to the Hula Bowl and the East-West Shrine game. A lot of talent. Pro scouts like him. Very much like Ellis, who's playing the same position for Florida. That kind of guy, Brent, you have to set short on him because he's really quick. And don't let him get going on you. Don't give him any room to work on you.
9-yard loss. Dick makes it 3rd and 16 for Werfel and the Gators.
Believe it or not, they've been pretty successful in that down and distance situation in the past.
Out of trouble. Forced to run. Out of bounds, far side. Well, again, disrupting that play in that backfield was Mr. Walton. (22-20). Tigers lead it. 2.5 minutes. And Shane Edge of Lake City punting with Thomas Bailey. Deep for the Tigers.
Nice punt. Boy, he nailed that son of a gun.
Fair catch at the 31-yard line. Reminder that tomorrow night, after Funniest Home Videos and on our own, Dick Clark and Suzanne Summers host an all-new Will You Marry Me? An hour of surprising marriage proposals, including one by Dallas Cowboy Rodney Peete. Then the world premiere of Without Consent, all tomorrow, right here on ABC. Time remaining, third quarter. Auburn, 16-point underdog, leading by 2 over the #1 ranked Florida Gators.
They put a linebacker over the tight end now.
Davis on that toss is cut off and surrounded.
Really a nice job by John Church, number 40, on that tight end. He took him and just stuffed him in the backfield. That's excellent defensive line play by John Church, the junior from Fort Myers. He was a linebacker when they recruited him, and he just grew up and matured and ended up being too big to be a linebacker. Now he's a 6 foot 3.5, 260-pound defensive lineman, playing the position like it ought to be played.
The 3-yard loss makes it 2nd and 13.
The defense has, no question in my mind, has become more aggressive along the front in this second half.
Nix in the shotgun for the Tigers. Fakes a handoff to Davis. Now he'll have to run. Slips, and he is down at the 33-yard line.
Good coverage down here by Anthony Lott. They had the boot action. He came out there. They had the single coverage, but Lott had him covered. Couldn't throw it. Good decision not to throw it. Anthony Lott, a lot of you ladies and gentlemen might recognize that name. He's the cousin to Ronnie Lott. Good stock in that family. Also an outstanding student here. Does a good job.
3rd and 7 for Nix and the Tigers. Tries to set the screen. He gets it done to Davis. Davis slipping, fumble. Tigers recover. I think it's a first down.
Let's see if they rule him down.
They rule him down.
Yes,
and
they
it's
did.
short of the first down.
Good call with that screen. They faked away from it, came back, laid it off, got it out there. Shotgun formation has been very effective for them. See, they get the good rush. They allow it to inside. They move over here, get it to the screen. They have the nice wall out there, nice block downfield. Jason Taylor looking for someone to hit.
I'll tell you now, huh?
Real close, boy, real close.
Palmer back deep. Daniel punting again. They may elect to run out the final seconds here of the third quarter, and they do. They run the clock out on the third quarter.
And then they get the wind to their back for the punt, too, Brent.
Well, Dick, you said to me, you know, this would be some game if Florida trails coming into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But here we come.
Here we come.
When we return, 15 minutes to go, and the #1 ranked Gators are down by 2 points. The final 15 minutes. War Eagle. There's the cry right now, and the Gators are yelling, just give us that football back. And they're about to get it. Sorolla Palmer, a young man from Louisiana, standing back on the Gators' 15-yard line. Low
punt.
Runs up at the 23-yard line. Palmer gives the Gators field position 70 yards away. John Saunders, what's going on with Eric Zier in Georgia right now?
Well, Brent, you wonder if a bad defense can rob you of the Heisman Trophy. Eric Zier has a couple of touchdown passes, but his defense can't stop anybody. Ronnie Gordon keeps this one, his second rushing touchdown of the day, and Vanderbilt leads Georgia 37-21. Brent.
Yeah, John, it's kind of interesting down here. You figured a couple of quarterbacks, Terry Dean and Eric Zier, might split the vote. Given Dean's rough outing against Auburn, you would think that Zier might be picking up some Southern support today. I suppose I'd make Napoleon Kaufman of Washington the favorite right now, but we'll see. Here we are, Danny Werfel trying to rally the Gators, and what a beautiful pass over the middle, out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Ike Hilliard with his first catch of the day.
Yeah, they ran that crossing pattern in man, and he couldn't chase him across the field. He bumped into him and jammed, and he ran across. Easy ball to throw. All you have to do is beat that one-on-one guy underneath. Ike Hilliard, a freshman. Good-looking football player, too, Brent. Nice tackle, but moved the chains anyway. You know, on the practice field the other day, I walked out there, and the minute I saw this guy, I said, who's he? He's an impressive-looking athlete.
I think that's Hilliard who's being assisted up after that stop on the sideline.
And a flag death penalty as well, late hit. He is a talented young guy. Again. Wobbling off.
Now, after the yardage is marked off, the ball is moved inside the 35-yard line. 1st and 10. Taylor, the I-back, gets the handoff, and Taylor to the 34-yard line on 1st down.
Nice job by Jeff Mitchell, the offensive left guard, and Anthony Ingracia, the left tackle. They did a nice job of letting their people go the way they wanted them to go, and then took them that way. The running back read it properly. They make 4 or 5 yards on the draw. Ingracia is filling in for the starter that's injured, Jason Odom, who's considered the most consistent offensive lineman. He's doing a good job there at that left tackle spot.
Florida on the drive early in the 4th quarter, trailing by 2 points. Werfel complete to the 17-yard line, and it's Aubrey Hill.
Actually, you know, in that 3rd quarter, Brent, Auburn picked up some time of possession. At halftime, they had 10. Now they have plus 12. But yet, of the 5 turnovers, you made the point earlier, they're only up, you know, down by 2. They're not getting enough out of those turnovers, and they've gotten 12 points.
3 wide receivers. They're keeping the fullback in for Werfel. Taylor picks his way for 1 yard. And a reminder, next Saturday, coming your way on ABC. Here's our lineup. Michigan, Illinois, UCLA, Arizona, Washington, Oregon, plus other regional coverage. Certainly down here in the South, there's a chance you could see Alabama. That's next Saturday, live at 3:30 Eastern Time.
You know, Werfel right now is 6 for 6. He had thrown an incomplete pass. And Florida has a very good inside the red zone passing attack. They've been very efficient through this year.
Hill, Anthony, and Jackson are the wideouts. They elect to run Taylor, and it's jammed at the point of attack. This leaves the Gators in 3rd and long.
3rd and long, and that draw in the red zone is part of Spurrier's personality. When you study their game tape, you see them run a lot of draws down here. Yes, they run them all the time, but they run a higher percentage of them in the red zone, anticipating a real good rush. Spurrier's offense. They move the ball and score points.
Hilliard, who was shaken up, returns to the Gator lineup on 3rd and 10. So now it is Jackson, Hill, and Hilliard who are the wide receivers.
Decision-wise defensively, do you go after him or you drop off and play zone? They're rushing 4 and playing man-to-man.
And the underneath man is all alone for the touchdown. Ike Hilliard.
They went man-to-man coverage, and somebody blew the coverage, Brent.
And the coach says, let's go for 2. At 12:15, Gators up by 4.
They've got him spread out, no back attack. Forces a man situation initially. He thinks he sees the man. He gave the hand signal. They're going to the corner fade. Didn't get it.
So it's a 4-point lead. Tigers need a touchdown. 12:15 to go. The Gators on the rally behind Danny Werfel. Danny Werfel of Fort Walton Beach, Florida, rallies the Gators. They lead at 26-22. He's thrown 2 touchdowns and for over 113 yards. Shane Edge, the punter, will kick it off. Bailey and Sanders back deep for the Tigers, who have been behind in the 4th quarter below these last 2 seasons. Sanders.
He's covering up the ball now. Take a look at the touchdown now. As you see this shot, this is how a linebacker looks into the quarterback's face right here. From the left side of your screen, you'll see him cross. See, it was man-to-man. They blew the coverage. No one covering. He just runs it in. Mistake. Now follow the quarterback and realize this. His dad is an Air Force team chaplain. Now watch this, ladies and gentlemen. It says thank you.
First and 10. Davis and Morrow are the running backs. Morrow, you mean, used as a receiver, and Nix puts it into the hands of Bailey, who scored the Tigers' first touchdown.
You know, with the domination of time and possession by Auburn, I think it's a good point to make. That is always a critical stat. But what's more important than time of possession is percentage of good plays. See? And that's why Florida is ahead right now. They've had some big plays. Big plays.
The Tigers have not taken advantage of all those turnovers. That's why they find themselves 4 back right here. This is 2nd and 3. This is the toss to Davis. Davis on a cutback. Davis for the first down. And Davis still going across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Yes,
what a run by the young man from South Carolina.
And, you know, they have a fine running back coach in Rodney Allison, but you don't coach that, Brent. You really don't. That comes from home. Mom and dad. That, I mean, I've always said the greatest coaching job done is done at home, and this guy shows real character running the football. He wants to win this football game.
First and 10 for the Tigers. Morrow across the 45. 3 yards for Morrow on the carry. 11:25 to go. This is a team which is ineligible to go to a bowl game, wound up unbeaten a year ago.
And they came from behind last year in this ball game to win the football game. They almost like that role. I don't know if they'd admit it.
Tyrone Goodson is off to Nix's right. Patrick Nix from Rainbow City, Alabama, is the Auburn quarterback. And end around again with Sanders, which resulted in a touchdown. And the Gators met him that time. Ben Hanks.
I'll tell you, Mark Campbell was in the backfield. He almost was at the point of exchange on the reverse. It was lucky it wasn't fumbled in the backfield. The big defensive lineman was right there. He'd be on the right side of the screen coming upfield here like he gets up in there. Look at 67 right there. Wham! Almost at the point of exchange.
3rd and 8. There's the fake of the inside handoff. Rifles it for the first down to the 31-yard line and into Thomas Bailey's hands. Bailey is having a big game for Auburn.
You know, he caught 6 balls against him last year, so he's doing a good job. And what he did nicely that time is he pushed the defender off, number 9 Lott, and then he came back for the football. And it was well thrown.
I think he's caught 9 balls today for 103 yards and a great catch for their first touchdown. 9:50 to go, and this is an impressive comeback drive by the Tigers. Beasley, the tailback.
They're blitzing.
Hanks, fullback Morrow into that spot, and they stop him after a gain of a yard.
You could see that one coming, couldn't you? There's no place to run when they fill all those gaps up inside like that. Now, a tailback at a deeper position might be able to bounce outside on that because he's deep enough. But a fullback, boy, he's in the thick of it right now. He can't make that move.
Willie Gusha, another young man from Fort Walton Beach, into the game, but he's playing for Auburn. Number 32, a wide receiver, replaces Sanders in this second down package. Nix flares high and incomplete. Beasley, the intended receiver. John Saunders, what's going on with Nebraska right now?
Brent, it's been a defensive struggle, but the Cornhuskers get a little march going here. 2nd and 8 at the 16. Jeff Makovicka is untouched. 16 yards, and Nebraska leads by 8 now, 14-6. Brent.
Tight one in the Big 8, John, and with Florida struggling here, who knows? Maybe the Cornhuskers jump back to number 1. We'll have to wait and see how that all unfolds. This is 3rd and 9 at the 9-minute mark. Nix over the middle to the tight end. First down, and he's going to break it for a touchdown. Andy Fuller of Huntsville, Alabama, regains the lead for Auburn.
Brett, what happened on that play, I really believe we had 2 Florida defenders covering the same guy. They were running side by side, and no one picked up the tight end. They were in man coverage. They had one guy covered. They had him covered tight, but they didn't cover the tight end.
I thought it was going to be close just for him to get the first down. Once he got the first down, he had open real estate. Now here's Matt Hawkins. Can you believe it? This team is not to be denied. The Auburn Tigers making a statement in Gainesville. And let's take another look now at Mr. Fuller.
These crossing patterns. See to the bottom of your screen, Gilmore 4 and number 35. Now see them both running together. Here comes the tight end. He had delayed just a little bit. There he is right in the middle screen, and no one picked him up. See, now it's just a big, strong, physical young man becoming a running back, fullback for the score. We've seen 2 pass defenses make a mistake on crossing patterns in the same way and turn that inside guy loose for touchdowns.
Let me tell you how good this move has been to throw to the tight end. Coming into the game today for Coach Bowden, Fuller had caught 2 passes for 41 yards. Today, he's caught 7 for 115 yards and the go-ahead touchdown.
And other critical plays.
Jack Arute, Dick Vermeil, I'm Brent Musburger. Welcome to Gainesville, Florida, where the upset could be in the making here over the top-ranked Gators. It's 29-26. Auburn leading by 3. Plenty of time. You all know about the high-octane offense. Hawkins kicks this one out of bounds, so it'll come out on the 35-yard line. For those of you who have just joined us, Terry Dean, with interception problems, has been replaced by Danny Werfel. This, the go-ahead touchdown moments ago, Dick.
Good execution there. See, the tight end delayed in there, and you lose him in the crowd. They let him go thinking he was going to stay in and block, and then he gets the ball. Good design. And the other thing about the design, what I've noticed with the whole offense today with Auburn, good design, yes, but great times to call specific things. Call them at the right time. They're more effective.
Gators turn. Freshman Fred Taylor, number 21, is set behind Werfel, who has 4 wide receivers. Uses Taylor flaring out of the backfield. Taylor beats the first would-be tackler and gets to the 41-yard line for 6 yards. Alvis finally makes the stop.
See, now defensively, what you have to do if you're Wayne Hall, the coordinator, is make the decision, do we want to cover them tight and try to take the short stuff away, or do we want to loose and play zone? You know, you're darned if you do and darned if you don't in some of these coverages against a team that really throws the ball well.
Riedel Anthony, the freshman, is out to the quarterback's right, up there at the top of your screen. And it's Taylor for a Florida first down and spinning for the Tigers 47.
Good blocking by the right side of the line, Reggie Green and Sean Nunn. To be able to slide along like that and not allow a penetration and just bounce to the outside, your tight end has to do a good job. Auburn coming back in now with that 5th defensive back, taking out a linebacker. This time they bring in Freddie Smith. So they're playing that 5-pack.
Now Werfel throwing on first down. Cannot get it off. He is sacked at the 45-yard line by Willie Whitehead.
It looked to me, Brent, that he took Ingrassi, the offensive left tackle, upfield, and then Whitehead came back underneath him. Good pass rush by Whitehead. To the left side, here's Ingrassi. He sets there, he takes him upfield, and then comes back under him. See him set. Now watch him come back under him right now. See, and they had to hold the ball too long, too. So let's give the coverage downfield some credit.
7-yard loss, 2nd and 17. Inside of 7 minutes. Werfel. Jackson. Great catch at the 30-yard line and out of bounds.
That ball is very difficult to throw, Brent, because he hit that right in between the crease and the zone. A short zone coverage and a safety rotating over. He'll come inside and then back out. Watch him back out there. And now there'll be coverage out there, and watch him hit it right before the safety gets there. Boy, what nice touch on that throw.
24 yards. And a first down. The ball just inside Auburn's 30-yard line. Werfel now is 9 of 9 since coming off the bench for 143 yards. It's Taylor, sweep left off the toss for a couple of yards. And this is just the start here on doubleheader Saturday, and I hope the one coming your way from Ann Arbor is as good as the one we're watching here in Gainesville. It'll be the battle of the Big Ten, Penn State and Michigan.
That is going to be a dandy.
And here, not so bad either, is it?
No, sir.
Auburn leading by a field goal. 6-14. Florida with touchdown on its mind. It moved inside the 30. 2nd down for the Gators. Werfel. Incomplete. Taylor was the intended receiver, and he was covered by Anthony Harris.
Anthony was on him, but if the ball is lower and in front of him like that, he still makes the catch. That's tough coverage for the linebacker, see? He beat him earlier in the game on that. Now 9 for 10. Better take him out. Missed a pass. You know, that's the advantage. You know, Danny started. He got hurt last year, and he got the knee worked on, and then came back and couldn't get back. But outstanding player. And the other thing, he's done a good job of maintaining a good attitude in preparation. You know, because he had been a starter, then he wasn't. And, you know, some guys go in the tank at that time. They call Dad and they want to leave school. He didn't do that.
Timeout being used by Florida. Just inside of 6 minutes. We'll be coming right back. To go, the Gators down by 3, 29-26. Werfel. Jackson. Touchdown, Florida.
They set 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Oh, wait.
Judd Davis.
Using the old swing and gate technique there, Brent.
And it's 33-29. The lead as we go seesawing through the fourth quarter. Gators are now up by 4. Jack Jackson with a whale of an afternoon. 3 touchdowns for the Gators, 2 receiving and 1 rushing. The young man from Moss Point, Mississippi. A lot of time left here in Gainesville for Jackson and his cohorts, who are back into the lead. 5:51, and remember, along with the 2 receiving, he scored 1 rushing. Line drive, and Bailey runs up on it. 20. Bailey shakes free.
Boy, these kids are tough.
Bailey to the 30. A lot of heart of this Auburn team. Here is a team that has been on probation, and this is the score that put them behind.
Here's the one-on-one situation. Jackson now watch him go down here. Watch him give him a little stick right there. No help to the inside. He got beat to the inside. See the safeties up playing man-to-man coverage. They had 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. See that? They're playing man-to-man. That's how he got single coverage up on top. That's their coverage right there. They're just doing everything right. They just got beat one-on-one.
Tyrone Goodson, the freshman from Brooksville, Florida, into the offense for Patrick Nix and the Tigers. Nix high, incomplete. Sanders, the intended receiver, the deflected ball, and the Gators went diving for it. That was number 4, Lawrence Wright. So it is 2nd and 10 now for the Tigers.
They better get lined up. They're taking an awful long time to get lined up, Brent.
Nix complete to Sanders with real estate to the 45-yard line. That time they brought their senior wide receiver from Fort Lauderdale into the middle of the defense.
See, and they pushed it with the tight end up and then came on a delay move underneath and just drop it to him like that. And he really demonstrates good running ability. He's a tough guy. The defensive coordinator now, you're wondering, should I go after him with a blitz, change the tempo, see if I can throw him for a loss?
Nix has put it up 42 times today for 260 yards. Hanks was coming. He's got Davis. Hanks coming. They get it done. It's a 5-yard loss on the play.
That's an excellent call by Bob Pruitt. See, now we saw a defensive coordinator on the other side call a blitz, and they got beat one-on-one for the post for the touchdown. Here they're calling the blitz to stop that run on 1st down and throw him for the loss. Good call. You'll see coming right here. He's going to go up and he's going to hit that gap. They don't pick him up. That's the 2nd time he's made it clean. Here he goes. He just got there quicker than the tackle could get there. Wham! Minus yardage.
That's the freshman tackle, Victor Riley, who has a huge future, but they stepped inside that gap on him before the young man could close it. It's 2nd and 15. Nix. Nix goes deep. Jump ball. It is out of bounds. Oh, baby, Tyrone Goodson was up in the air on that ball, but the freshman Fred Weary was all over him.
Fred Weary was a victim of a touchdown pass. Here he's making a big play, preventing when they go high up. It's a jump ball. They go up. They come down with it right there. Out of bounds. Great effort by both kids on this situation, but an excellent jump by Goodson. He is 6'3", so he has that edge over Weary, who's 5'9.5" to 10.
Now Auburn needs to design a 3rd down play for 15 yards to keep this drive going.
Sometimes Florida goes to a 3-man rush zone cover 8. They're not going to do it this time. I'm surprised.
Nix down and incomplete. All over him was Kevin Carter from Tallahassee.
That is a big, big play by Kevin Carter. He came hard to the outside. He has excellent speed. Coming around, see, they run the fake to try to freeze everybody up inside. There's no place to throw. He has to hold it. Here comes Carter. He's got him by those pads, and down he goes. What a fine young player he is.
Terry Daniel will punt it to Sorolla Palmer. It's deflected, partially blocked on the play. And a penalty flag is down. I thought he partially blocked it and didn't rough it. Maybe I'm wrong. Campbell was rolling in. Mark Campbell, the end, was rolling in on Daniel.
Not a very good decision to have a guy around the punter.
The 5-yard penalty.
It's not a first down. I wouldn't have called that one, Coach. I'd have kept him away from there. You don't want to do anything. Lucky he didn't get that call as a 15-yarder. And it would have been a first down. You and I both have seen that called the other way, Brent.
Yeah, we have.
See, not a good decision by the young rusher.
Terry Daniel under enormous pressure here. Now he'll try it again. The ball is at the Auburn 45-yard line, and Palmer standing inside the Gators' 15-yard line. 4 minutes to go. Booms this one. But into the end zone, and it'll come out on the 20-yard line. So a reminder that on Monday night, the Kansas City Chiefs hoping to come back in that one. Dick, how do you feel they'll do it in Denver?
Well, I talked to the Chief organization this week, and they've been very disappointed. And I'll tell you, when coaching staffs are very disappointed, they start getting on rear ends and chewing on them, banging them. They worked them in pads all week. I think you'll see a better Kansas City Chief play Monday night.
9 Eastern time. It's the Chiefs and the Broncos on ABC. Here we have 4 minutes to play. The Gators have 2 timeouts. Auburn with all 3. It's a 4-point lead. A field goal will not do Auburn any good in this situation. And now they need to turn loose this defense.
They might as well just line up there and get 7 people after the run. Forget about that pass right now.
Danny Werfel has been the man of the second half. Handing off to Taylor for a couple of years. It was Werfel off the bench who sparked this comeback. The young man from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. He has been red hot in relief of Terry Dean.
Yeah, and it's not many schools have that many good quarterbacks. When you watch these 2 guys practice, you can't tell them apart. They're so well schooled in the fundamentals of running this offense, technique-wise and everything else. They look the same. It's a good thing they have different jersey numbers. They didn't play the same today.
Seconds ticking away here in the 4th. Werfel with a change up at the line, and Auburn indicating they're going to bring some pressure, and they do, and they run away from it with Taylor, the freshman. And the pressure man was Brian Robinson, who finally caught him from behind as he crossed the 25.
Brent, offensively in these situations, you reverse your 2-minute drill thinking. Now you're thinking about it, using as much time as you can.
And Auburn will attempt to stop it and get the ball back with some seconds remaining. 3:10 remaining. It's 33-29. Florida leading and coming up here with a 3rd and 2.
There's the Florida athletic director, Jeremy Foley. He's concentrating on the game.
Short drop, and Werfel's going to try to run for it. He breaks free. Took a lick at the 34, but he picked up the first down. And when he was hit first, he did not have the first down.
I'll tell you, we've seen some real good coaching decisions today, but that one's scary. That was a good decision because they made it, but that's a chance you take. You're really counting on your offensive guards against good tackles to do a good job of holding their own on that situation. In that case, Donnie Young, number 75, the right guard, did a nice job. Looks like blitz again, Brent.
Penalty flags down prior to the snap as the clock was running out. So at 2:35, they'll take a 5-yard penalty. Auburn trying to conserve as much time as they can if and when they get the ball back. Tigers with 2 timeouts remaining. They'll need a touchdown and not a field goal to pull this miracle out. And, of course, that has been the story of this team, hasn't it? Dick, I know you want to pass along birthday wishes to a friend of yours in the state of Florida.
Well, I have a good friend down here, closest man to me right now in my life. 93 years old today, old Doc Skidmore. Watching this game with great excitement. Doc, happy birthday.
He has seen a good one. 1st and 15. Taylor, and he's out of the 25 with Gary Walker wrapping him up.
They're going to have to start using their timeouts. The Tigers, that is, they have 2 left to stop the clock.
Well, if time permits, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. And if you don't see it after this game, you'll see the start of the Michigan-Penn State game coming up. And then the Thrifty folks might get in on the back end of the day. That one might move along up there in Ann Arbor. That might be a little running going on in that one. 33-29 and 1:55 to go now. 2nd and 18. Taylor on the toss, and penalty flags come flying.
Nice job by Alonzo Etheridge that time, Brent. He really got upfield like a defensive end should. I think they held him. But they had to hold him, or he'd have been throwing that for a bigger loss. Nice effort for Alonzo. He has not quit, I'll tell you that. There's a real good football coach right there, Coach.
Dick, I got a question for you. We're coming down inside of 145. When and if Florida has to punt, if you were Auburn, would you go after their punt?
Yes, definitely. Now you have to do everything you can to get that ball in good field position.
Now it's 3rd down. And they need 15 yards for the 1st down. Need to get up to the 44-yard line. Wilfel's going to throw. He's going to put it up down the middle. It's intercepted. Robinson's got it.
Get out. Run over out of bounds.
Going to stop the clock. Out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
They're not seeing that backside safety over there. They're trying to throw the post pattern, not anticipating the safety to be able to get over there. Coach, happened again, didn't it? They're using play action, safety to the right side of your center of your screen. They use the play action. Now he gets hit right there as he throws it, but he's not seeing this safety right there. They got 2 of them right there. There's Robinson picking it up.
That's his 3rd interception of the day for Auburn. Brian Robinson with 3. Now the Tigers are 55 yards away, 2 timeouts, only 1:20. So Nix, and they put 3 receivers off to the right, and they'll use the shotgun. Morrow blocking. Nix will use the middle. It's Sanders. Sanders down to the 42, but it's a 1st down.
Right, and that'll stop the clock when they move the chains.
They're down to the 42 at 1:11. The Heartbreak Kids are coming back down the field again, expecting still another miracle for Coach Terry Bowden, who doesn't know what it's like to lose as a head coach at Auburn. 17-0, the longest win streak. Now the clock starts, and it's Nix again. Nix got Sanders, overthrowing it. 2nd and 10 with 1:03 to go.
See, what they're trying to do with that kind of throw, Brent, is get up in and get on the safety and break to the sideline and get in behind the rolled up corner when they double you in a zone coverage like that. That's a good decision to try to throw that. It's tough to throw it accurately and really complete it all the time. We saw one already in this ballgame.
Tyrone Goodson, the freshman, goes out to the left. Sanders is down here, works the slot with Bailey on the outside of him for Auburn.
Here's that 3-man rush defense I talked about early. Now they've got 8 guys in cover.
So they'll throw underneath and incomplete. In and out of the freshman's hands.
See, when you cover the field with 8 guys, that's constricting the zone with more blue jersey. Tough to find a place to throw. And it's amazing what kind of rush you can get with 3 people.
Now pressure is on Auburn to move the chains. This is going to be a 3rd and 10 with 57 seconds to go. They need to reach the 32 for a 1st down.
And they have 1 timeout left.
So if there's one more trick In Coach Bowden's bag, the time is now. And that's a reminder of what's ahead of us. More big college action coming your way here.
Penn State has come on so strong with their total offensive package. It's going to take a very, very good football team to beat them. They have speed on defense. Their offensive line is very mobile. Of course, Kajana Carter, you know, everyone's talking about him. Their quarterback, Collins, he's leading the country in passing efficiency. I mean, they put the whole package together. But today is the first test. It's going to be an exciting football game.
Third and 10 for Auburn. One minute left.
They're staying with that three-man rush.
And it is Nix. No, it is dropped. He had Sanders. He had the ball at the 35. Sanders concentrating on getting out of bounds. He was short of the first down, even if he had caught it.
And the other thing he did, he let the ball get to his shoulder pads, and he's a hands catcher. You know, he's got to reach out and draw that ball to your body. And the other thing he did is he turned his head to run before he had total control of the football. You know, these things, I mean, the little tiny things make the difference in a critical situation.
And the streak comes down to a 4th and 10. Nix calls the final timeout. And a reminder again, 9 o'clock Eastern time, Monday Night Football on ABC. Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. The Broncos snapped out of their slump last week. John Elway trying to get back on the winning track. That was a team that some said would go to the Super Bowl. Then the Kansas City Chiefs took over, then they slumped.
Yeah, and they've had that problem, you know. And, you know, Marty Schottenheimer's son's right here as a backup quarterback for Florida.
There's the Bowl Coalition Top 25, and it'll be an interesting vote this week, won't it, folks? We'll see what Penn State does. I think that should be later, unless have they kicked it off already? Be an early kickoff, but who knows? Maybe Coach Paterno said, let's go.
Yeah. And what he says goes. Yeah. Well, of course, he's only in Pennsylvania, not Michigan.
That's right.
Bo says what they do in Michigan.
Let's go. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a great run for these Auburn Tigers. They got one more miracle left. It is 4th and 10. They need to get the first down. Nix got it. First down. Clock is stopped. 45 seconds. It's Thomas Bailey. How about that for a clutch throw? They're not finished yet.
A beautiful throw, and actually Anthony Lott had help on that. I don't know why he did not crowd that pattern a little bit more. See, they were in that three-man rush, and I'll tell you, Ellis Johnson was there, about 3 guys trying to block him in there, and he still almost got to him.
Inside the 30. The ball is at the Gators' 28. 43 seconds. No timeouts. Nix. Got an open man. Out of bounds. Willie Gosha from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. And the Tigers are knocking on the door.
See, that's a mismatch. That time, that coverage put a linebacker on the slot. Hanks, number 11, is an outside linebacker. He ends up on number 83, Goodson. That's a good mismatch. Brent? Here it is right there, the corner pattern. Excuse me, it's Goshen, not Goodson. I heard you say that. Shouldn't have made that mistake.
Now, 1st and goal. Here we go. 3 wide receivers, no timeouts. 36 seconds to go for Auburn. The Cardiac Kids at it again. Over the middle. He got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn. Frank Sanders grabs another one. Holy cow. They never quit. the extra point. 30 seconds to go.
Well, the Gators have 2 timeouts. You're throwing to a big man in a tight area against littler defenders, shorter defenders. He got the ball up high. Look at the heat up inside. He threw that off his back foot. There goes Gilmore. There goes Lott. He goes up between both of them. The touchdown. See, he got the ball up high. He was almost forced to throw the ball up high. They get one linebacker blitz coming in from the backside. They lay it up there. Look at him leap. Nice job.
I must tell you that Auburn leaves you speechless.
They do.
This is a team that if they run the table again with still another comeback in Gainesville, I don't care what anybody says. Every voter in the Associated Press pool has to consider what this team has done. I don't care. These kids, there's something magic about this bunch. I mean, this is unbelievable.
You know, I think it's also a reflection of their leadership. We saw that last night, Brent. There's some enthusiasm and some caring and some good coaching going on there.
And this is a very well-coached team.
You bet.
Career, and it's just, what can he do? I mean, it's incredible. Sanders burned him last year in Auburn in the 4th quarter when they went up over the top.
Yeah.
But like you said, still 35 seconds and 2 timeouts. Picked up on the shoulder. Oh, he should have, if it was going to go out of bounds, but maybe it wasn't anyway. Bilkey finally fielded the ball at the 21-yard line down there, and now a penalty flag comes down. So let's hold on. They've used 3 seconds on the clock. Given the Gators' long strike ability, this one not quite yet history.
The Gators like to go to a no-back attack in this situation.
We have an unsportsmanlike conduct foul on the blue team, befitting half a distance penalty.
Stunned, like everybody else. They were favored by 16. Trailed for the first time this year. Came back, turned the ball over, didn't give up too many points off the turnover, stayed in it, and then these guys struck again. And you've still got more if you can stand it, huh? Penn State, Michigan. I mean, it's just draining to watch a game like this. So we'll be going into Ann Arbor where they've just kicked it off up there. Now Werfel will try to pull it out for the Florida side. Werfel sacked at the 1-yard line. And that's Gary Walker again.
They wanted to get him out of the pocket. They go back and they dash. It's a delayed rollout. What they're trying to do is buy time to get the ball downfield.
I want to pass along one statement that I've thought about during the whole 2-year run. You know that I like Pat Dye very much.
You bet.
And I think how he handled the transition down there and how the school did it enabled Coach Terry Bowden to come in here with a great environment and atmosphere. And I congratulate all the people in Auburn of how they've handled being on probation for 2 years. They've made the most of a very tough situation. And they just, as far as I'm concerned, they're one of the great stories in college football. With no bowl game at the end of the season for these kids, no incentive, they have put it on. And they said, this is the Super Bowl. They laid their hearts on the line for everybody today, and they simply would not quit. I know it's a cliche. And I don't care, because that's what it is. God love these kids. I mean, it's wonderful to watch them.
And again, I go back having been an ex-coach. You'd like to believe that it came from the top down through the squad. You know, a real sincere belief has been instilled in these kids that they can win and that they don't need any other incentive other than their pride and the situation they're in, and they'll go undefeated. Possibly. You know, they've got a lot of games.
By the way, this was the Super Bowl, but let's not forget Alabama. That's the next Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Werfel now trying to pull a miracle. Incomplete. And a penalty flag down on the play, back near the line of scrimmage. You know, we've got to say something about Patrick Nix, who came in here 28 of 51 today for 319 yards and 3 touchdowns. Didn't he throw 3 touchdowns also last week?
Last week. He had a big game last week. Yeah, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns versus Mississippi State. And that was his first real good football game. During that week, they were mad at him because he couldn't throw a completed pass.
All sides on the defense, lined up in the neutral zone. It'll be 5 yards. Replay the down.
The Wizard has done it again.
With a totally different approach to moving the football offensively. Basically really want to run, get in the eye, toss it, go run upfield. But today they did a good job with their passing attack game plan. They really did.
This has been a classic, and I hope that Penn State-Michigan game is just as good as this one.
Going to have a hard time matching it, but it probably will.
69 points scored here. And Werfel back in the end zone. Gets it off. Must have been a tackle eligible.
No, it's not legal.
Flagged down. That's folks was a big number 71 rumbling down the field for him, and that's Jeff Mitchell, the guard.
He's a guard.
Good hands.
That's not legal.
But he was going to take it. He just kept on rumbling.
Said, thanks. You know, for only sakes, I've done a lot of things here, but I've never caught a pass.
So another streak comes to an end at the Swamp. He's a great competitor, Steve is, and there was a big article in the Jacksonville paper here a couple days ago about how he just hates to lose at anything, and this one's going to be a crusher for him here at home, especially the way they came back under Danny Werfel. But too many turnovers. You can't turn the ball over
no
6 times like they did. You're just not going to get away with it.
No way.
Well, let that celebration start over in Alabama, folks. This has been sung. It's going to be the double pass. Going to come back across field. That was Eric Kresser throwing it. Here it comes. They've done it again. Jack Arute, take it, Jack.
Well, Terry, congratulations. Boy, you just keep on winning these heart stoppers.
Well, yeah, these guys are going to find a way to win. I don't think they're going to be about doubt now. If that's the #1 team in the country, I think everybody knows who the #1 team in the country is now.
Go celebrate with your team.
Let's go do it. One more.
What a wonderful day. And we want to give you our Chevrolet players of the game. Patrick Nix and Danny Werfel, the 2 quarterbacks. You could have given it to Frank Sanders. A lot of candidates for Auburn. Nix hung in all day long, and Chevrolet donates $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial need. For Jack Arute and Dick Vermeil, I'm Brent Musburger. It was a whale of a game. A win for Auburn, 36-33. The Cardiac Kids have done it again. So long, everybody.